They might ban me for this song, but this is how I'm rocking. Can't be trans cause it ain't real. They need a mental asylum. Say the truth, they look at me like I'm the one with the problem. But they mess with little kids, that's why pedophilia rising. But that's what happens when you give an inch to the gays. Promoting sin instead of telling them they should change the ways. They make you wear a mask, you can apply that, remind me of slaves. Got my order wrong at McDonald's, thinking you need a raise. I'm about to break the meter, two-way got my heater. Hey, I don't wear Nike, I only rock Adidas. Hey, I'm in the street, yeah, and mostly y'all just tweet us. Hey, and false teachers, so Bryson got a teal.
Okay, I had to take it off. It's going to take too long. I made that intro. All right, and I wasn't prepared today to switch the intro, so I used the old intro. Anyways, I'm having a special conversation because it's rare when us conservatives disagree on subjects like this. I think I'm outnumbered tonight, which is okay because I can hold my own, and I took hella notes. So let's go. Let's get it started. Let's get ready to rumble. Everybody introduce yourselves so people know where to find you. You can go in order. I don't even care. Oliver, you can go first.
All right, what's going on, everybody? I am the Right-Winged Angel, Oliver Mack, and you can find me on Instagram at the Right-Winged Angel. You can find me on YouTube. Just search Right-Winged Angel or Oliver Mack. You can find me there. Facebook, all that good stuff. Yeah, I'm here. I'm ready for a great discussion.
Let's go. Go ahead, Craig. Make your famous introduction.
You guys are funny, man. What's up, everybody? I'm really excited to have this discussion. It is always an honor to be on a platform with multiple people on the panel that have different views on looking at things. Most people know me for just speaking my mind, and that's what I'm gonna continue to do. Just keep it real. I guess my opening statement would be, in this political climate, this social climate of the cancel culture, I feel that we have reached a point to where we should fight like a firefighter, fight fire with fire. That the call of action to canceling that joker behind me, Whoopi Golberg, I think that we should apply cancel culture to her. In no way am I advocating to take people's rights, but it is what it is. My name is Craig Long, 45.
Hey guys, it's Monique. Oh,
man, y'all quiet, man. What's going on?
Do you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, cool. We heard you, Craig. Anyways, what's up, guys? My name is Monique. Let's Talk Darling on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. I'm excited about this panel. I think Craig and Oliver are probably the only ones that are on my side on this Whoopi Goldberg topic, and I'm excited to be disagreeing with Suni for once because we generally agree on everything. But yeah, that's about it. Follow me.
Go ahead, Avery. Ooh, he froze. Or is he just frozen for me?
No, it's frozen for me too.
Yeah, I think yeah. Can you guys hear
there
me?
You go.
Oh,
yeah, we can hear you now.
We can hear you.
It's a Royal Rumble.
1 second.
My goodness.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I'm Real Avery Turner. I do TikTok and I do Instagram as well. I'm very interested in speaking on this topic. I agree with Suni for like the 100th time. You know, I think people should be able to say whatever they want, however they want. If it offends anyone, that's too bad. And that's all I gotta say for now.
Okay.
All right. Hey, I'm Osiga, conservative business person, American nationalist. Yes, I believe in free speech. And we'll get more into this Whoopi situation and I think the hypocrisy. But yeah, another day, another topic in this world of like, I guess, politics and issues around like in the U.S.
Awesome. Last but not least, go ahead, James. Tell everybody who you are and where they can find you.
My name is James Owen. I'm on Instagram and Facebook. I don't agree with Suni. I believe that everybody should have, like freedom of speech and shouldn't be canceled based off their opinion. I do not believe that anybody should be giving a pass when they state something as a matter of fact, and it's completely false.
Actually, look, we can just get right into it. I'm gonna play 2 different videos, okay? Just so the audience can see what we're talking about and where we're all coming from. So first, I'm gonna play the
Fire
video
Whoopi Golberg.
that got Whoopi in hot water. This is a video, and this is what she said. Oh wait, this is the same one. Cool. Let me play this real quick.
That I feel a responsibility for
Oops.
not.
No, that is her weak ass apology.
That's our apology.
Hold on.
Her apology was more offensive than the actual offense, but I'll digress. We'll get into it.
What?
Exactly. Thank you.
What
Man,
is
y'all,
wrong with you
I'm
guys?
gonna be in rare form, buddy.
Rare form? Uh-oh.
Country man, I say something.
Hey, Sony, we're gonna do both, right? We're not just gonna do Whoopi. We're gonna do Joe Rogan.
Nah,
too,
we're
right?
gonna do both. We're
All right,
we're gonna
cool,
do
cool. I'm ready for
all
that.
of
Joe Rogan shouldn't have said nothing. He shouldn't apologize.
Yeah, I'm more passionate
Yeah,
about the
Joe
Joe
Rogan should
Rogan
apologize.
situation than
Yep.
the Whoopi
Okay.
situation. So I'm ready. For
Okay,
both.
okay.
Yeah.
Which one? Because Joe Rogan had 2 gaffes.
Yeah.
Nah, Joe Rogan.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk
man,
about it. Let's talk about Whoopi first.
I'm gonna think I'm in Planet
put
of the Apes.
Okay.
Let's talk about Whoopi first. Let's get into Whoopi and then we'll get to Joe.
Yeah.
Okay, let me play the clip where this is the clip that got her in hot water. My bad. Here we go.
About race. It's not about
Well,
race.
what is it about?
Because it's about man's inhumanity to man. That's what it's about. Whoopi Golberg.
Goldberg
Oh,
appearing to
here
double
it
down
is.
on the Colbert
I don't even
Show
gotta mess it
that
up.
night.
We can
The
play it
American
straight
experience
through.
tends to be based on skin.
Yes. And so that is what race means to me. When you talk about being a racist, I was saying you can't call this racism. This was evil. This wasn't based on the skin. You couldn't tell who was Jewish. They had to delve deeply to figure it out.
Then
Okay.
Hold
Now,
up.
me personally, what?
Hold
What?
up.
That wasn't the clip.
That wasn't the
Wait,
clip.
whoa.
That's her
What clip?
disrespectful.
Are you
That
talking
wasn't
about
the
your clip? Okay, you want your clip played.
No, we're
I
talking
was
about
just
when
pulling the
she
clips
said
that I
it on The
had.
View.
That was her offensive apology
Yeah.
or explanation on
Yeah,
another
that was
show.
They
that
did
was
not
her
have to
doubling
delve
down.
deep to find out who was Jewish.
Yeah.
But
I'm probably gonna piss you off tonight. Go
but
ahead.
Sudi, I sent you that clip from 3 years ago
It's on
on
my
The View.
it's on my listening
I'm-
WhatsApp though, and it's on my phone. Can you pull it up?
Where's Bryson
Wait,
at?
is it on your Instagram, Craig?
You talking about? Well, I think
It's on my Instagram if you want to go.
It's on yours? Okay.
I would just YouTube it. Just look it up on YouTube.
But probably the
What did
first
she
clip
say?
she sees is going to be people talking about it. So it may not be the actual clip.
Whoopi's
without the
when she was
commentary.
talking about race 3 years ago.
So
That what you're talking
it's
about
called,
now?
it's called Whoopi Goldberg loses it with Rosie O'Donnell on The View, and at minute 1 in, she gives what her definition of racism was or is. I just want to make that clear.
That clip. We just need the recent clip.
Oh no, we need to go back.
Yeah, just go to my page.
See
Just go to
Mo.
my
See
page, it's
Mo
on
gonna
there.
come with Mo. See Mo gonna come. Mo gonna come with all the data.
Listen, I'm Hispanic,
Mo gonna come with
okay,
all
and
the
if there's
data. I'm the
one
guy
thing
that
we
just-
do, it's research.
And drama.
We do our research.
Hell, my goodness.
This is, I mean, hey, we disagree. And honestly, it wouldn't matter what video I see past this point. I'm still gonna have the same sentiments on this.
Yeah, just play.
And
the-
I'll give specific.
and we can get
reasons
into it.
why.
Now, as far
I'm
as
on your
like,
page,
race,
Oliver.
you talking about the race? So the racism definition that you talking about the racism definition that like a lot of like let's say black people try to go by that only like
No, it was
people-
something
See,
Whoopi said.
Most black folk. Well, I ain't gonna about to get y'all going, man.
What? Say it.
Speak
Oh,
freely.
you know what?
I want
You
people
know
to
what?
get the
I don't think I
context.
posted it. My bad. I don't think I posted it.
Okay,
just gotta pull
it's
up
all
the
good. I
video.
got it.
We
I'm
have
about to pull it up.
another whoopie.
It's all good. I got it.
Yeah,
Avery wants me to tell you guys.
said
if
it's
he's
a
the-
minute.
There's so many
How
clips that
long
come
in?
from The View.
Avery's
Facts.
back.
Yeah.
I just pasted my clip in the chat.
You said 1 minute, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is not juice either. This is vitamin C. I'm pretty healthy. Now I'm on Eastern time, y'all. I got a family and I wake up early in the morning to go to work. So I won't be able to go in 3-4 hours with y'all, but
I'm not sitting here that long.
So just take the L early.
The L? What's the L?
He said take the L early.
I'm just kidding.
The L?
Well, hold on. He's on your side. He's on your side.
I'm on your side, man.
Yeah.
I'm on your side, bro.
I said, damn, man, I'm gonna take the L. I said,
don't be dissing your teammates now.
I want to promote this book. Right. This is Visions of the Anointed by Thomas Sowell. There's a lot of people taking on the position of the anointed.
I love that dude. He's amazing.
So what are we looking for?
Can we just assume that everybody knows, or are we gonna play the clip? Okay, there we go.
I got it right.
Wait, no, that's the old clip, right?
No,
this is what Mo wanted me to show.
That's the old clip.
Oh, Mo wanted to.
Here it is.
Racism is. Racism is when somebody comes up, die. That's racism.
Why'd they block that part out?
We know that.
But she said racism. She said racism.
What did she say though?
Come up and say, "I hope you die." Basically, end. Okay?
N-word. Okay.
Yes. Now, the Holocaust was all about making people die based on their race.
You can say it if you're quoting.
100%.
No, I don't say that word.
Why?
I just
wait a minute. Why?
If you're quoting someone,
don't say the word because some people buckle down to their knees.
No. I have never ever said it. It's just not my thing. I don't feel a need to say it.
No, don't say
like
it.
Okay, well, that would be the Joe Rogan conversation.
They'll pull it up 20 years from now, saying, "Look."
Okay. So since everybody, almost everybody disagrees with me here, right? I feel this way. I feel. This is a moment for conservatives to whine and cry because somebody on the opposite side of the spectrum said something that could possibly get them canceled, shut down, and it feels like a moment of vindication for you on your side because you're like, hey, you're going through what we've been going through for so long, but this shit's going to backfire because while we're celebrating and like making fun and goading it on, it's eventually going to turn on all of us because it's going to become the norm. This is what they're doing. They're desensitizing the population to what is called cancel culture. And we're just like, yeah, Whoopi Golberg. Me personally, like, look, I know she's not as smart as us all here. So in her mind, she probably thought, hey, well, she gave her explanation. She didn't probably think this is what I thought before I seen it. I see race and then two people killing each other. It didn't seem like race to me. But her overall point stood. It's a humanity issue. The man is evil as hell. I don't understand why that's worth canceling, firing. It's her opinion, and she should be entitled to it. That is called freedom of speech.
But Suni, then racism doesn't exist. Then everything's a humanity issue and humanity issue.
Yeah.
So are we gonna like go around and give our opinion, or are we just gonna jump in?
It don't matter. Whoever wants to respond, go ahead.
Well, I wanted to say something because I was itching to say something about what you said. So I want to take y'all back to grade school, right? Follow me down this rabbit hole. I want to take y'all back to grade school. Do you remember playing a game with the kid that just wanted to cheat? Like he didn't want to play by the rules. He wanted to cheat. He wanted to do things his way, but you were steadily trying to play by the rules, and then you kept losing because he just wanted to cheat. But the only way that he was able to stop cheating, or he wanted to stop cheating, is when you started to play by his rules and beat him at his own game. So I think that's what we need to do with the left. So the left has created this cancel culture that we're experiencing. And at one time, it only affected conservatives. Mm-hmm. All conservatives were getting canceled, and the left got to do whatever they wanted to do, and they were never canceled. Amen. Now we're actually seeing to where this is affecting them. So once it starts affecting them consistently, they will change the rules. They will say, okay, cancel culture is over. We're not going to do this anymore because now we're canceling ourselves. So I think that's how we win. We have to start getting them to play by their own rules. And when that happens, cancel culture will be over.
So,
amen.
I don't agree. I don't agree. You're expecting them to hold themselves to a certain standard. The only reason that she's suspended is because she said something about
Whoopi got canceled.
It's only because she said something about Jews.
No, it's not.
If she were to say half the stuff we say on here, she wouldn't be canceled. It is because of Jews. What else?
If she was the what?
Wasn't a race.
No.
Then what is it because? Why is she suspended?
My call for firing her is just, y'all seen my videos. It ain't nothing to hide. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. What's good for him is also good for her. Though people that advocate for people to die by a certain sword, and then when they're up to the gauntlet, they're up to the chopping block themselves for what they promoted so much, it's only right that they suffer the same consequence. I can care less what she said. She is one of the main talking heads of people that go and promote other people to be canceled, fired, and God knows what else. And now she's up to the same chopping block. So I've said it before, like I said in the opening statement, firefighters fight fire with fire, right? Everybody wants to take this alternative. This is what's wrong with the people on the right, right? Because we're faith-based people, right? The same. And look, before I go into this, because it's a slippery slope. In no way am I a historian of the Bible. I'm not an expert of the Bible. I'm not a pastor or a preacher, and I'm not even trying to take y'all to church and do so. But we can use scripture. Sunni did use scripture saying we should not be conformed to this world, right? Well, we can also use the Bible and say in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, there's a time and a place for everything. There's a time for war and there's also a time for peace. So we can't sit back and pray like ostriches and have our heads in the sand. There, at some point, we have to stand up and we have to fight fire with fire. So I called to fire her. I don't care what she said. She is one of the main people that advocates for other people to get canceled. So
I don't think she should be fired. I don't think she
fire
should be fired.
her ass.
I do not think that she should be fired. I think that she needs to be held accountable for spreading gross misinformation, because Jewish people, a lot of people don't know, is that Jews are a race. Like, Jews are literally a race. They are a race. They are a
before you get going,
group and a race originating from the Israelites and Hebrews of historic Israel. They are a race. I don't
So
care.
my original
about
point
Jews. I don't care
stands. The
if
only
Jews
reason
went-
why she's in hot water is because she said something about Jews.
She didn't say things about
But
Jews.
so what?
It's the fact that she went out and she said something. For me,
We should be
it
able
was
to
so
go
incorrect
anywhere and say
because
our
just
opinions
like-
on what
okay,
we think of history. We all
you
sit here and do that on a
absolutely
Yeah, in a
regular
fair
basis.
world, we should. In a fair world,
Yeah,
we should.
But that's the
the
world
level
that we're
that's
trying to
created this
promote.
world that's not
Sunni,
fair.
But
We're
Yeah,
Sunni,
but they're not going to
you-
play
that,
fair regardless.
that you had for
You-
Trump. When Trump went out and he was promoting vaccines and everything, and everybody, and Brandon Tatum, everybody was like, "We're not voting for Trump. We're not campaigning for him. We're not backing him." All this
Well, I don't
different
think
stuff,
he
and
said
everybody
that.
was
How is
trying to
that-
hold Trump accountable. Why can't we hold Whoopi accountable
canceling
for going
her?
out and saying false things? We were technically
By
but
canceling her.
Sunni,
I don't think it's
that's
about the
but
false
Sunni,
things, though.
those are the rules that they set. Okay, we didn't come up out of nowhere with this
So?
cancel culture. They set the rules. Now, yes, you can have freedom of speech. You can say whatever
Yeah.
you want to say, but you have said it before, and you've said it about Trump. Okay, that doesn't mean that you don't get held to some type of consequence for that freedom of speech. That doesn't mean that you can just go out and say whatever you want and something doesn't happen to you. It is what it
then-
is.
let me
if
ask
that's
you
the
this.
case,
not only
Trump-
should her
Hold on, if that's the case,
I think her honorary Jewish name Goldberg should revert right back to Karen Johnson, whatever the fuck it was. Okay, because she was
Karen.
given that name by the Jews. Yeah, she was given that name by the Jews. She was made a Goldberg and an honorary, I don't know what. Okay, and for what reason? But maybe that needs to be revoked. You know, cancel her, revoke the name, ruin
Fire
her
her.
career.
Let me ask the guy in the red real quick.
ahead.
I don't know your name, so I apologize, man.
James.
James, I'm sorry, man. When you say she should be held accountable, can you describe to me, if you don't think she should be fired, what does that accountability look like? What
So,
does that
like,
mean?
Whoopi Golberg has gone out and she said a bunch of like crappy stuff about conservatives, about Republicans, about white people in general, especially during the George Floyd era. And like nobody, as Mo said, nobody held her accountable. Nobody criticized her. Nobody did anything. All right. I don't think that like she should be fired for saying something, because she's human just like the rest of us. She made a human error. And she said that she didn't think she didn't say that. She said that the Holocaust was not a race issue. She stated it as a matter of fact. It was a fact. She said it's a fact. And I think that she should be able to
You're not gonna misquote. We
apologize,
don't
be
do
held
that.
accountable.
I don't think she said it as a fact. I think she was stating her
That's what I'm
opinion.
saying.
It was a bad opinion, but I don't think she was.
She didn't
I
think-
agree
she
with
didn't say
that.
think.
As a fact,
It
She
was a
didn't say
very
think.
bad opinion, and she
She
but
didn't say think,
even
and she
even
didn't
as
say
her
in my
opinion is
opinion.
very bad, she is
so-
entitled to have that. And it
She
So
didn't
James,
say I
what-
think, and she didn't say in my opinion. She just said
it doesn't matter. I
It's
don't
a-
I don't
it's
say
a-
I think
Well,
all
when-
the
yeah,
time,
when
but
we-
people
when
know
we
yeah.
that's
So
speak,
if
coming
you
you
don't
from
don't
my
say you're
say,
stating
"Oh, in
perspective.
my
something you know to
opinion."
be true. So
No, it's not.
That's it is. If you don't say in my
No,
opinion
it's not.
or I think,
So everything
yeah.
you get on here and say and run your mouth about is a fact.
what I'm saying, like, yeah, everything that I basically just said were facts. Like,
So
Jews are
James,
a
what-
race.
so
they
you
are a
believe-
race. So it is a race issue. She said that you can't, in her apology, a weak ass apology, she said that you can't, like, they had to dig deep to find out who the Jews were. No, they didn't. You could tell who Jews were in Germany. They stood out. Okay, you didn't have to dig deep to find out who they were. They looked like Jews because they were of the Jewish race. It's like black people have certain characteristics. I could turn my skin white, and people would still know I'm of African descent. Or Siga, if I turned his skin white, people would
Sammy
still
Sosa.
think, okay, you're from Africa, you know, or you're from African descent because you have these characteristics. Jews have the same characteristics.
So you believe that she did something wrong, but you don't believe that she should be fired. So
I
what
don't
do
think
you
she should
think?
be fired, but
what do you
I
think the
do believe,
correct
just like Trump,
consequence should be?
Right. I'm waiting for the definition of it.
Yeah, so just like Trump, how Trump is now switching his tune and he's advocating for medical freedom instead of like pushing the vaccine and saying there's nothing wrong with it, everybody should go get it. She should know that she's not invincible anymore. She can't go and run her mouth about different things because there.
I know, but how would she know that? How would she know that if she doesn't lose her job or suffer some kind of?
By this
so you think just the
I don't think
experience
so.
is going to make her change her tune?
No,
It already has. She's going on. When was the
No,
last
it
time
has
Whoopi
not. No,
Goldberg
it has not.
apologized
She
for
can come
anything?
out on TV and
Crazy.
say whatever she wants, but you know, deep down inside, she does not believe Jews are a different race.
Yeah. So
I don't care what she believes. I just believe what she portrays on the TV. She doesn't need to have a spiritual awakening. She just she needs to know that she's she's going to be held accountable for the things she says. There will be consequences.
but you're not held
But
accountable
you're
with a
not
2-week
advocating
suspension.
for consequences, though. You're saying she needs to be held accountable, but you're not saying that she needs to be held accountable.
James,
You're
just
saying
come
she
out.
just needs to let the backlash be the accountability. And that's
James,
not how it
just
works.
come out and say she should be fired. It's okay, man. We on
She
the
shouldn't
same
be
page.
fired. I don't
Fire.
think she should be fired.
That-
I think
Go
she
ahead.
should
Why-
be-
why not,
Avery's been
though?
quiet.
She should resign.
Honestly, I think we're missing the point here. Like what I think, like as far as what's really like as far as going down. So I think what like Whoopi was trying to do at first was trying like the modern day bashing of like let's say the white male or the white race, and then like a lot of white people like they would be like kind of cucks to it and not stand up for themselves. This time the Jews did, because sometimes the Jews have backbones and plus they own businesses. This is why it's important to be in positions of power, because if she had said the same thing about like let's say black people, maybe she's not even on their network. But it turns out that Jews own a lot of businesses, so there's a lot of Jews behind the scenes of this. But what I think she was trying to do was to make a ripple effect and start the notion of watering down the Holocaust so that slavery can get a bigger more like popular or whatever, which is what a lot of black people try to do. Like they even try to water down racism to be at a point where black people can't be racist, which that in very definition, it just doesn't make sense. But next I would say right now, as far as the Jews, they stood up because the Jews, they work in the back office. Even the sources say that many Jews were of course, triggered and hurt by her comments. And they worked in the, was it ABC or CBS or whatnot? So it's like the Jews signed a paycheck. But the thing is, the consequence that happened, the reason why they suspended her for 2 weeks is not because they were sorry or whatever, because maybe I think The View gets a lot of views, but it was to take her out so she doesn't say anything more stupid when they asked her questions, like the hard detail questions. Like Jews will ask her specific questions that Whoopi Goldberg's brain don't know nothing about, as far as that. So it'll make her look even more dumb and give us more ammo. Now, we got to take into where the conservative movement kind of lacks socially is that we're kind of like the nerd in school that takes a joke too long and over-chews it like bubble gum. You know what I'm saying? And we'll keep talking about it, and it gets really corny and annoying. So the thing is, like Nick Fuentes said the other day, we'll get crumbs. The conservative movement will get crumbs and treat it like a feast.
Exactly.
we got her, whatever. She's coming back in 2 weeks. He's coming back in 2 weeks. She's gonna be bigger than ever. Joe Rogan out of here. You feel me? So that's the thing, and we're distracted by talking about free speech and whatever. First off, the company that she works for, that's their choice. Now, do I think that they should fire her?
Yes.
I don't know. Like, I really don't watch that show. I think that it's good to have like different views around here. But I always thought The View was a horrible show, and I do hope it gets canceled. I mean, Joy Reid's show, I think that thing went away. The viewership went down as far as that. But I mean, I don't really want to dwell on that. I think there's like bigger stuff to focus on. Like the problem that conservatives, we don't have big platforms. Like we don't have big like channels where businesses we own. We just focus more on saying, oh, we're so intellectual. And then we do all this talking and not a lot of action or like getting together, having our own like rebuttal. Cause like everywhere conservatives get canceled, but we don't have a spine. Now I'm trying, I gotta get my notes what I wrote down. Yeah, but that's pretty much it. I think like
we don't have a spine.
She do got
because people don't want to cancel people.
Let me ask you,
go ahead, Avery.
Hold on.
Hold on. I'm gonna let Avery respond.
I was just gonna say basically what he said. You know, if ABC or whatever the View network is on, if they want to kick her off, that's their prerogative to do so. I don't think she should be kicked off. I think people not watching the View and the company suspending her, in my opinion, is fine. That's good enough. I think if we
that's crumbs, and then you treat it like a feast. See, that's what we do. That's conservative. We get crumbs,
but
we treat it like a feast.
It's not just, I think if we give in to cancel culture, we're just adding to the left's power. Because at the end of the day, at the end of the day, as conservatives, we're not consolidated like liberals are. We're not those people who are gonna just pull everything out when we don't like something. Most of the time, we're spread apart. Liberals.
That's how you get cooked. That's
liberals is literally.
I think it's okay. Listen. I think it's perfectly okay for you to voice your opinion. That's part of free speech, to respond, like say, okay, I thought that was terrible. I thought this was horrible. Now, as far as like, let's say, demanding the whole demands, like you hold stake in the company. I think that's where you have really no control over that. Just give their opinion. Like they'll respond. Businesses will respond to like what sells and what like the market is accepting, right?
So the
that's
purple,
what we need to focus on like let's say leaving a comment, not viewing the View, having another platform that outdoes the View as far as that. They will realize that they need to stop the bullshit. If the bullshit makes you $10 million a day, you're gonna bullshit for the rest of your life. So that's just the way that business works. And the Jews know this. That's why they only gave her 2 weeks. They gave her the 2 weeks especially don't mean nothing. They said go on vacation. Don't answer no questions because we know you stupid. You can't take.
Let me say something. Let me say something real quick. Let me say something. The fact that they only gave, I've worked in Hollywood.
It's disrespectful.
Okay? I have worked in Hollywood, and I will tell you, Hollywood is run by Jews. Okay, so the fact that they only get that the Jews that run Hollywood gave her 2 weeks tells me that George Soros is running the ship. Because you know what George Soros is? He's a Nazi. Okay, he hates the Jews. So I'm telling you right now, the 2 weeks. I mean, they
fire Roseanne Barr.
Well, let me ask you a question. For the people who don't believe she should be fired, do you believe that if this was a conservative that said that they would have been fired?
I'm glad you said that, Oliver.
She was fired.
I'm saying if this was a conservative that said the same thing Whoopi said, would they have been fired? Can anybody answer that? Yes, they would have been fired. They would have been fired. It was held to the same standard they're trying to hold us to.
We oppose when a conservative would, if they were fired, we would oppose it. We would hate it. But you're giving
exactly,
power by saying,
and that's what exactly. Guess what? We wouldn't be able to do anything about it. That's the problem. They control everything right now. We have to force them to. What's that?
Stop supporting or stop. If you want Whoopi Golberg,
that's cancel culture, young man.
Stop watching it.
That's a form of cancel culture.
I don't watch it anyway. My whole point is to make them. My whole point is to make them abide by their own rules. That's what I'm trying to make them do. And if she's not fired, then they're not abiding by their own rules.
It's an oxymoron when I say if we play in the when I hear people say, if we play in the cancel culture, we're gonna end up canceling ourselves. I seen that comment.
We've already been canceled.
We're already getting canceled,
We
man.
already been canceled.
So we're gonna start doing it
oxymoron.
ourselves.
Yes,
Well,
because
Yes.
we're
Doing it to ourselves.
They need to get a taste of their own medicine.
Yeah, look,
I mean,
But we don't
I mean,
control
bro,
guys, it's
ABC.
not,
Like,
it's not
no,
gonna
no.
do anything for
hold on,
anybody.
hold on. We don't control any mainstream media. So
I was
us
about to
ever
say that.
thinking
We
that
don't
we're
have to
ever going
control.
to
We don't have
hold
to
Whoopi
control mainstream
accountable,
media. We don't have to
but we're
control
not
mainstream
holding her
media. We can-
accountable at the end of the day because we don't call the shots, just like you said.
I know, but
Yeah.
it's all about applying pressure.
I'm
Right? If we
applying
get
pressure.
enough
What
people
pressure
to
are we
apply
applying though?
pressure,
Because that
things will
Man,
happen.
that
Fine.
pressure didn't come from conservatives. That pressure came from she
Some of
said
it
something
did
about
come.
the Jews.
Some of
I
it
don't
did
like
come
it.
from conservatives.
Yes, it
I
does.
believe some of it did come from us.
No,
So
most of the backlash that Whoopi experienced was from the left. It wasn't
from the
It was
left.
from
They
the
don't
left.
listen to us. They don't listen to
standing the
conservatives.
But some of it
They don't
did.
listen
There-
to conservatives.
Okay,
They don't
okay,
tune in
think
to
about
watch
this.
Brandon Tatum or Candace or Ben Shapiro. They listen to themselves, and they a lot of Jews. I'm from New York. A lot of Jews in New York are leftists. They are liberal. Those are the people that run fashion. They run Hollywood. They went and they canceled. They spoke out, and there's a lot of backlash from the left towards Whoopi Goldberg. They don't give a fuck about what conservatives.
Okay, well, think
what
about
conservatives'
this.
opinions are.
You're from
They
New
don't care
York,
what we
right?
say.
So
The new mayor of New York was caught on video saying, what did he say? I'm gonna kick these crackers' ass, right? Do you think the left made him apologize?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The left was mad
Yeah.
that a black person called
Yeah.
white people crackers? No.
You
no.
hit it on the nail, Oliver.
Right. They let Joe
Look,
Biden do it all the time.
So you really think that was conservatives? Like
Yes.
we're
It was
being
the left.
realistic.
I believe
Do you go
that
onto
was
the left side of
conservatives
Instagram and
applying
Twitter at all?
pressure.
I do.
Okay,
Yeah, of
when's the
course.
last time?
Of
Like
course.
Suni and I went live like 2 days ago, and 2 nights ago, or last night, I don't know. But I went on to liberal Twitter for the first time in a while, and because normally all I see is an echo chamber, and I went on a liberal Twitter, and most of the people that were starting the hashtag cancel Whoopi were leftist nutbags. Okay, I don't think you guys get out of your echo chamber long enough to actually look at the left and what they're
I
saying.
beg to
I'm
differ.
actually from the
beg to
left.
differ.
I was on the left, so I know the left. I can think like the
But
left.
you're not
You
on
should
there
speak
looking
for-
at what they're
and I
saying
didn't.
right now.
No, I
James,
didn't
you
say
should
that.
speak
I
for
didn't say it
yourself.
was all conservatives. I said there was some conservative pressure applied to Whoopi.
He may be speaking about other conservatives, but he should speak for himself because I go on their stuff all the time. I'm on the TikTok. I have the conversations with them.
I do the
I
same
do it
thing.
all the time.
No, but then saying that that because
Most of my content comes from
I
the
didn't
left.
say it was
It's
because
got
of
on their
conservatives.
Twitters
I
and
didn't say it was because
Instagrams
of conservatives.
instead of cancel Whoopi that the views care because conservatives don't really watch The View. Okay, they don't care about what conservatives say, saying, "Oh, we should cancel Whoopi." They cared about what their own.
I agree with you
viewership
on that.
said. There was backlash.
I
from
mean,
the
I
viewership. They don't
think
care
I think there's
about
a
what
lot of
conservatives
I
say.
think there's a lot of
If they
older
cared about what
conservatives,
conservatives
older
say-
Republicans that will watch the View.
Okay, but that's not the
I mean, well,
majority.
if
That's not
that's
the
the
case.
I get his point.
And I agree, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I
agree
get his point.
that it's older people that may be watching this, but that's also the problem too, because older people are disconnected from what culture is actually going through. A large portion of them have no freaking clue. So, look,
Yeah, but when they
I'm
hear
not
something
saying that
that's
she was right.
bad,
I'm not saying that she was right. I'm not saying that she wasn't severely wrong in her depiction or her opinion of what she thought history was. What I'm saying is, I'm not going to fight to take someone else's voice from them just because they fought to take my voice.
Yo,
That would
Sydney,
completely push back
An eye
on
for an
what
eye, baby.
civil rights.
She can
Wait,
have
hold
a
on.
eye
voice.
for an
Hold
eye.
on.
Matthew Brown.
That
said
would
No,
completely
cancel-
push back on
I
what
don't
Martin
care
Luther
what she
King
says.
fought for. He didn't fight for black people to be hateful just because white people were hateful to us. That didn't happen. So I'm not going
He said,
I'm not going to
I agree
lower
with that.
myself
Well,
to that
we're
standard.
doing.
of wanting
That's
to
not
take
what we're
someone
doing.
else's
We're
voice.
not. No, that's
Let-
I
there's
don't
some
want to
Okay,
take
so I
I
just
think
someone
you're
want to
else's
address-
voice.
misunderstanding the point.
Somebody in the
hold on.
comments,
There's some
they
there's some
said
untold history
Sunni-
about Martin Luther King. He was a Marxist, man. There's some things that people don't know about Martin Luther King.
But
Yes,
that's neither
that was
here and
his- he
there.
was-
We're talking about what he fought for.
Yeah,
That was what
So-
he was the face for, but he stood for a lot of other things that we don't agree with now as well. And one of those things, this is why that the left uses the same quote all over and over. Languages, the language of riots are the language of the unheard. He stood for a lot of things that just weren't on the forefront. There's a lot of things we just weren't highlighted about him. But yes, he was the face of exactly what you said. But you definitely want to dive into Martin Luther King.
Suni, if you don't believe that this tactic will work, like making them play by their own rules, how do you believe that we should end cancel culture? Because it's destroying our country. What's your solution?
The left is already seeing the destruction. People on the left, look, my mother's a devout Democrat, okay, liberal, and she is woken up to some stuff with COVID. And you know what? She actually comes to me and she's like, "Yo, you were right about some stuff. This doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense." I didn't have to lower myself to their standards to actually convert people.
But that's not the cancel culture
by
part.
showing them.
Yeah, but that's
we don't have to.
You're talking about voting. You're talking about the way she.
What cancel culture?
I'm talking about cancel culture
Person
specifically.
with the green screen. What cancel culture are you
My
talking
name's
about?
Oliver, by the way.
Oliver? Okay,
Yes.
yeah. So, what cancel culture are you talking about? Like the cancel culture conservatives are going through?
No, the cancel culture that a lot of people are going through. So when you look at when you look at entertainment, look at the entertainment industry. Look at what Dave Chappelle went through, what he said. And back in the day, probably 10 to 20 years ago, comedians could get on stage and say whatever they want because it's comedy. Now all of a sudden, the left has destroyed comedy. We can't even have comedians come out. Movies are so lame and boring now. What's that?
Nothing.
What happened to Dave Chappelle though?
No, nothing, because he had Netflix. He'd had Netflix backing him, but he almost got canceled. He was almost.
The point I was making is I didn't have to participate in cancel.
That was just one example.
I would say that's
for somebody to see the point that I'm making.
I know, but you saw the campaign against him, right? The campaign against him was vicious.
but as long as
there's always going to be somebody out there that's going to want to silence somebody that they don't agree with.
Okay, but what did he say? What did he say in his last special? That he wasn't going to make jokes about LGBT anymore. So the left won when he said that.
He made the independent decision not to make jokes about LGBT anymore.
I know, but he made the decision not to. He made the decision not to make jokes about them because he was getting canceled.
And did they call off the cancellation?
Let the left cancel themselves.
Remember when he was supposed to go to a school and they told him that he couldn't be there? They didn't want him to be there. They protested him. All this stuff. Like all that stuff affects people. Like you may say, oh, well, he didn't get canceled, but all that stuff affects people. It affects their mental state. It affects how they do business. It affects a lot of that. So even though he wasn't removed from Netflix, I don't believe he's going to be making comedy specials like he used to anymore. Because
so you guys think the only way that you can win is by participating in cancel culture. Instead of just saying
is to make them play by their own rules.
Hold on, let me finish so you guys can hear my full thought. The only way to win is to participate in cancel culture. Rather, because you asked me for a different perspective on what can we do besides celebrating Whoopi being
well,
canceled.
Sony, you didn't really answer the question. So
I'm trying to.
Nobody thinks it's the only way. You're answering the question with the question. So what the question is? How can? Yes, you are, because you're asking. So you're saying
I'm trying to answer it. I was literally getting into what we can do.
Okay, Sony, I have a question.
Go ahead.
I like Sony's question. Let's answer that. So you're saying, what can we do to fight?
No. He asked me a question, which is, if this isn't the right way to go about it, then what do you do?
That's cool.
Hold a mirror up. Show people, like, look, wait a minute. Show people. They want to cancel me, but I'm not about to participate in anybody else getting canceled. I think what she said was dumb. I think it was completely dumb, but I'm not going to say hashtag.
So how do you hold the mirror up? Like specifically, what is that?
I just told you how. Because people are watching us, whether we want to believe it or not. There are a lot of leftists that watch us.
That's what's been happening, and nothing has been improving.
So we're merging them together. There's accountability and cancel culture are two separate things, and I think that I'm actually agreeing more with Suni, and I think I misunderstood her. I think that Whoopi should be held accountable. I think that she should know that her words have impacts on the ants that she talks to. She's called her viewers ants before, and I think that she should know, going forward, that I need to watch what I say. I need to do my research, just like Suni, me, everybody else, all of you guys do before they hop on the show. We do our research. I do not think that she should be canceled because she made an error. I do not think that should happen. I do not think we should feel that. I do think that she needs to be accountable, and I think that we need to separate cancel culture from accountability, because we didn't hold Trump accountable for
I agree with
5 years, right?
Okay, so how do you hold?
We didn't hold him accountable for what?
But
Hold
how
on,
do
we're
you
not
hold
talking
him
about
We
accountable?
didn't. I'm not talking about you.
Hold on, there's a
Now
bunch
we're
of
bringing
people
Trump into
responding at
this.
once.
We're
There's a
not
bunch of
talking
people
about Trump.
responding.
Let's
No.
focus on.
I'm
Can
just
someone
making
define
I'm making a
accountability?
relation, like accountability. Like we
How
held
do you-
Trump accountable finally, the vaccine comments, and he went and he changed his tune. He's
But I think we
advocating
did
for medical
hold him
freedom,
accountable.
but we didn't cancel him. Canceling and accountability are two different things. And I think that we need to be able to hold Whoopi accountable, but we don't need to cancel her, take her off the program. Just hold her accountable, make an example, be
But what does
super
that
loud
look
about
like?
it.
How do you hold someone accountable?
The same
in
way we
Whoopi-
hold
in-
black people
no, no,
accountable
no.
on a regular
Define-
basis when we talk.
In
We talk
Whoopi's
about
case.
the issues.
That and it
in-
doesn't
Same
help.
way.
And black people are still doing the
That's
same
not true.
shit.
That's
Black-
definitely
okay,
not
okay.
true. That's
Really?
not true.
I see the
still
murder
wanna
rates rising in
Hold on.
every black
I want to
neighborhood.
understand what the
So-
accountability means.
Back to Sony's question, right? So I think like the best way to fight this is we need to learn our lessons. Like time and time again, we see that conservatives, we have no, like, as far as ownership in big time companies, right? We have no like social like dominance where in Hollywood. I think like we need to create a constant effort to create our own, whether it's an alternative. We have little to no alternative to like GoFundMe, except Give Send Go, right? And Give Send
They
Go,
get shadow banned.
they could be canceled, they could be wiped off. You know, as far as like social media, we have no real viable alternative to Twitter and all that. Maybe like Gab and all. Maybe Gab. I wouldn't say Getter, because Getter is also controlled too. You throw a million Getter's face, they'll do whatever you want. So as far as that, I think we need to work on building other avenues and platforms, because it's like one is The View is like a main, like it has their own channel that's on real TV and all that stuff. So it's like that's what other people watch. But if we have another side of the story that people can't cancel, people can't platform us, that helps out a lot as far as alternative. Because now all this talk we're doing, Whoopi's gonna come back. They're gonna be like, whoa, her viewership rose because now she's controversial. So she's gonna continue talking out her ass. The only reason the 2-week suspension is because they just don't want her taking any more questions that'll make her look dumb. They're just like, okay, let the legend of Whoopi Golberg rise, and then people will tune in when you come back saying, well, all this controversy over Whoopi Golberg, let me see what's this about. She gets back, maybe she says something like, oh, I'm a proud black woman, and they try to suppress me, now I'm back. It's gonna be silly applause. And then the Jews, the same Jews that she came after, they're gonna make a lot of money from it. So they're actually smart. Instead of to get butthurt for too long, they're just like, okay, just give her 2 weeks. She'll come back, make us a little money. We give her little check. Woohoo! You know, as far as that. But conservatives, like I said, we get crumbs and treat it like a feast. We don't even realize what's happening. We're not like strategic in that sense. We're still going to be on like our platforms, our little platforms, or some big or whatnot. But we're not going to like create something that's, let's say, to the quality of sustainability as that. So I think that's where we fight, is having an alternative that people can watch. But think of all our platforms. Think how hard it is to tune into all our platforms. Cozy TV, you got to have a Telegram. You got to go through this authentication code, and then you got to make it before you have your own account. Then you watch something. Or think about, it's just like send me money in Bitcoin. Somebody has to go through all those hoops of Bitcoin. It's just like, it's nothing like simple or a great way to tune in as far as it. So I think we need to work on that, work on having our alternatives, our own.
Can somebody please describe to me what accountability is? What is the accountability that she should...
I did, and I guess, look, you know how I hold black people accountable? I talk about the issues and I have a conversation with them. This is what's going on. We need to be held accountable here. This needs to stop. We can't keep doing that. I'm not trying to cancel all black people.
But
that's not the way you hold anybody accountable.
I'm surprised you say that's working.
So why did we
haven't
cancel?
really seen the results.
Why did we try to cancel Colin Kaepernick when he started this whole kneeling in the national?
I didn't try to cancel anybody.
I'm just saying.
A lot of people verbiage on here be trying to cancel Trump.
I don't participate in that. You have never heard me say cancel. You never heard me say cancel Colin Kaepernick.
Trying to cancel Trump.
But then we should be very.
That's not canceling Trump. That's a lie.
Nobody was canceling Trump.
That is what you called holding him accountable. That is what you call
Wow.
holding him accountable.
So did anybody
saying-
say? Did anybody
But
say
see-
y'all shouldn't vote for him? Did anybody tell your audience, hey, you shouldn't vote for Trump?
Yeah,
Did they
he
ask
said that.
me?
representing us.
Should I vote for him?
Okay, that's called
People ask me.
when you're an
That's
elected
not
official.
canceling.
When you're an elected official, and people are saying, hey, don't vote for this person, that's canceling.
That's canceling.
No, it's not.
Yes,
Oh,
it
It's
is.
not. No,
What?
no.
Yes, it is.
Not,
No, that's
not
not
supporting
canceling.
We're
Go.
not allowed
That's
to
not
say
canceling.
I'm
Not
not voting for
supporting
this
GoFundMe
person
is
because I
canceling.
That's
say it.
canceling.
Then
That's
that's
It
not
is.
canceling.
It is.
No, it's
That's
not.
not canceling.
It's a,
Yes, you
So,
are.
like,
it's
if
a
Trump-
form,
no, it's not.
it's a
This
form
is
of
this is how
cancellation.
this is
No,
how
it's
this
not.
person gets a new position. Like if Trump wants to be president,
You're
and
lobbying.
you say, and you're
another
telling your
form of cancel
audience,
culture.
hey, I'm not voting for this person. Y'all shouldn't vote for him either. That's canceling.
Let's
That's not
look at the
canceling.
actual definition
say,
of
"We
canceling.
gotta
That's not
move on
Because
canceling.
that's
from
not
Trump.
canceling. That's
We
called
gotta
being an
move on from
American
That's
Trump.
not
and
canceling.
holding
Mm.
politicians
move on.
accountable
That's
that don't
canceling.
get in
No,
office
no,
and do
no.
what they say they're
When-
gonna do.
When people say you got to
No.
move on from
If you
Trump,
tell-
you're
if you
lobbying,
tell-
you're
That's not
canceling.
canceling.
If you go to a business and they treat you unfairly, they treat you poorly,
go
and then you
outside
tell
and
your
say,
audience, hey, don't go to this
Don't
business
go over
anymore.
there. We
You
gotta
canceled
move
that
on.
business. That's
We got to
canceling.
move on from this business. We got to move
But
on.
I
from
never
Trump.
told
You're
people don't
lobbying.
vote for Trump.
That's not canceling. Nobody
You're
cancels
lobbying.
Trump.
It's a form of canceling, just like the
That's-
GoFundMe
No, it's
is
not.
a form of canceling.
No, it's
that's,
not.
It
that's
is.
canceling.
No,
It
it's
is.
not.
What do you think, Avery?
That's canceling for an elected official.
I
No, it's
I
not.
just think, especially when it comes to the Trump situation, simply
How do we
saying
get on Trump?
Why are we
keep-
talking about? I don't want to talk about Trump.
I'm
Because
just-
Craig brought it up.
An example,
No,
because you
no,
brought
no.
it got brought up in the
Y'all,
middle of the
no,
fact
y'all
is,
brought it up. Y'all brought Trump up.
the fact of
Y'all
the
No,
matter
don't
is,
I will
MAGA
not.
is that-
Hold on. I'm gonna respond to
Get my
this.
MAGA hat.
I don't cancel anybody. I don't think anybody should lose their platform. I don't believe in doing that. That's not me. And me holding Trump accountable and saying, yo, this is not okay. And if this continues, you will absolutely not get my vote because I'm an American and God damn it, that's my vote. And,
But
and
see,
where I
this
place
isn't-
it is
That's
where I
not
place it. That's
cancelable.
not
You're
me
lobbying,
canceling
which
him.
is a
But
form
see,
of
this
cancel.
isn't
No, it's
Whoopi's
not.
first
Make America great again.
time
Add on.
saying idiotic things. So this is the thing. So we have given her many
MAGA gang.
many passes. Okay, it's time she get canceled. And here's the other thing I want to say about this, because we brought up Dave Chappelle. You know, these people wouldn't annoy me so much if they would just say what they say and stand by it. If you think that the Holocaust wasn't racist, cool. Don't get on there and change your tune the next day. Stand by it and say, I don't think it was racist, right? Dave Chappelle didn't back down. He just said, all right, I won't talk about LGBTQ people because you guys are getting butthurt. Roseanne didn't back down, right? She clarified her statement. She said, I said what I said. Personally, I think Valerie Jarrett kind of does look like a monkey, but you know what? We're not gonna go there. We're not gonna go there. She's ugly. She's ugly. She is ugly. I don't know what that woman is. She's mixed with something, but I don't know what
Job
she
of
is.
the
But
Hutt, bro.
she's not. No. She's not cute. She's not cute. But
Yeah,
anyway,
she's not even
I'm just,
black.
I'm just
Luke
saying.
Skywalker killed her and she came back
These,
from the dead.
I think you should be canceled. Period. I don't care what side you're on. If you can't stand by what you say, whether I agree with it or not.
My stance is, if you're someone that advocates for other people to get canceled, then you should only face the same consequences you advocate for other people. It's fairly simple. I don't care what she says.
Because that's the only way
I'm
you're
all-
gonna stop doing it.
It is. It's fighting fire with fire. I'm gonna fan the flames. If they ask me, hey, we need a little bit more rope to metaphorically, YouTube, hanger, I'm gonna be like, hold on, give me a second. Let me go get the rope for you. You know, and that's just another way of bringing about change. When they start seeing that it's what they promote the most, it starts affecting them. Then it is another
change
form of
anything,
creating
though.
change.
Yes, I'm telling you.
So
I'm telling
gonna
you.
egg
if
it
we
on.
can-
Oh,
You're
yeah.
not going to
Go
change
get 'em.
anything.
The more
You're not
the
gonna-
more the left gets canceled, the more they
I-
will realize cancel
Albert,
culture is a horrible
they're
thing.
not.
and they
complaining
shouldn't do it.
about
works.
Trump and
Trust me.
lobbying against
Bro,
Trump ain't
that's
gonna
not
make
how it
change
works.
either.
That is how it works.
Yes,
That
it
how
is. Why do you
works.
think he
You're on
stopped?
the-
Hold on.
bro,
See,
what
now I'm about to
platform are we on
respond.
right
Now I'm about to respond.
Lobbying against
Why do you
lobbying
think
against
Trump
Trump.
stopped?
right now?
Hold on.
It ain't gonna
Since
work.
since we're on the topic of Trump, why do you think Trump stopped talking about the damn vaccines? You know why? Because people like us and the people in the crowd who booed his ass for telling us to shut the F
I mean,
up, or
maybe
not even
somebody
that, but
advised him
shushing
and
me.
said, "Hey,
Hey,
that's my
no.
vote. You get in there and do what
I
I
know,
tell
but
you to do and get in
he
office."
stopped talking
But
about
that's
it, but he
different,
didn't
though.
come back and change
No, it's
what he
not.
said.
That's what I've been doing this entire time.
It's
You say that's
different because it's
canceling.
not like him talking about the vaccine. It's not like he did something
No,
offensive or something wrong.
that-
Like conservatives just didn't like it. Like
People-
that's different
funny
from
that
what
people are
Whoopi
condemning
said.
him.
Like Whoopi
wasn't
said
just
something
conservatives.
offensive. What's that?
But you said it's a form of canceling. So I was making it clear. I'm speaking about these things.
They're still lobbying
And if
against
he
them.
doesn't
But
change
look,
his
I
tune
know. I'm just
on
saying
these
you can't.
things, I'm not
I
voting
just
for
wouldn't
him.
compare those
She
two.
held
things.
Trump accountable.
people
guys.
condemn
Like,
people condemn him. There you go.
And people
There
are
you
holding
go.
Whoopi
There she
accountable.
go. That's it. That's the point. She said if he doesn't change his tune, maybe he has someone in his camp, someone in his camp is saying, hey, we need to change your tune. Don't go this tune. And now you're
Why?
condemning him for switching up his tune. Now you guys can say, hey,
nobody's
that's a
condemning him for
hypocrisy.
switching up his tune.
I still think lobbying against somebody is another
condemned
form
him.
of
He
cancel
switched
culture.
up his tune because his advisors told him, "Hey, your base, the people that voted for you, do not like
So
you
who
going
should-
out telling people to get
So
the
how do we
vaccine."
hold
So who should
politicians
They don't care.
accountable?
Yeah,
This is
but
the
guess
last
what?
question, and we're going to
Guess
move on
what?
to the
Even
next
if
topic.
even if
Let's
it
get
wasn't
to Whoopi
Sunni,
Golberg.
there were
For
a
an
lot
hour.
of people who said, "Hey, I'm not voting for Trump anymore," based
Let's
on
get
what
to
he
the
said,
saucy topic.
and
Let's
told
get
their
on to Joe
audience not to
Rogan.
vote for him either.
Yeah, but
Let's
just
talk about better
just for the audience sake, right? How do you
Joe
hold a
Rogan.
politician accountable?
Let's get to the juicy stuff and
Let's
talk
get to
about
Joe
Joe
How do you hold a
Rogan
politician
and
accountable?
Planet of the Apes
Not
and
vote for
everything
them.
else.
You need to
Yeah.
call. You
Oh,
need to
but that's
call- You need
canceling.
to call them. You need to call them. Tell them that you would not vote for them if they keep doing what they're doing. That's how you hold them accountable. It's not
They
canceling.
represent you.
So
It's
you,
telling somebody.
threaten
I'm the one who put you in
to
office,
cancel
and you
them.
have
No,
to
you hold them
listen to me.
accountable. They represent you, and you hold
See,
them accountable.
You guys, stop with all this accountable. Just be okay with cancel culture, and this is an easy
No,
conversation.
No.
it's evil.
No, it's
It's evil when
not.
the left does it. It's
Cancel-
evil when we do
Cancel
it.
culture
Yeah,
and
just say
accountability are
fire
two different
somebody.
things.
That's what
let's
I'm
talk
talking about, Mo.
As
Mo, that's what I'm talking about.
Cancel
Just
culture
say,
and
come on now,
accountability are
say-
two different things. They have two different definitions.
That's
No.
what
When you
I'm
hold
saying.
somebody
Just
accountable,
look.
you're not letting them go by saying what they're saying without any type of consequence.
I can't believe that you guys are advocating for cancel culture on this side. I'm
Fire
actually
her.
very
Believe
shocked.
it.
I
After
Believe it.
complaining
Yeah.
about the
Fire.
left for so long,
Believe it.
I don't want to
Whoopi
see any of
Golberg.
you guys
No.
Make
complaining
them
about
play by
censorship
their
after
own
this
rules.
after this
That's all
live.
I'm saying.
But
No,
since
no,
you're
no.
okay
It's
with
about
their
cancel
own
culture,
rules.
Listen,
then social
about
media can
time.
cancel the fuck out of every one of us here because
It's
you're
about
okay with
time.
it.
They've already done it.
I-
They've already
Hey,
done
the
it. They've
real
deleted
problem-
me. They've deleted Craig. Like they've already done it.
Bro,
They've already
We've
done
The
it.
experienced
fact
it
you
already.
guys think that canceling Whoopi is going to do anything or switch any
Yep.
tide when you
It
literally
sure
have
is.
your platforms on liberal platforms that can cancel you for supporting people
You don't even read the
in
Bible.
Canada
Stop
that
quoting
are
the Bible in
truckers.
my chat.
It will help, but
Yeah,
if they cancel and
like-
fire Whoopi Golberg, that's another
Right.
person that says
It's not gonna
divisive
do anything
things
for you,
on
though.
national
It's
TV.
not going to do anything for you, though. You can still get canceled tomorrow because you're on a liberal platform. Just like Osiga said, we're all on
People-
liberal platforms. We cry and
people-
whine when they
People
when they block
lobbying
us and
against
shadow
Trump
ban
ain't gonna make
us.
no change either.
We're
So
getting
I agree.
canceled
Like, we need to
anyways.
start uplifting Gab. We need to start uplifting conservative alternatives
guy's the
that
Trump
don't
guy.
cancel.
No. We just gotta get
not
greasy
gonna
like
change
the
anything.
left
Yeah,
does.
we
That's
gotta-
what we
That's
need
what
to
I'm
do.
talking about, Mo.
We
Get
gotta
Get
make them
greasy.
play
don't think
by their
about
own
it.
rules. That's
Listen,
it.
we don't think strategically enough to do that. I think we need to have our own platform and work on that, right? Because one thing with us too is like conservatives, we're kind of selfish, right? Let's say like all 7 of us say, let's get together and start a platform or a business, right?
So that's that
Eventually,
Nigerian
in 2
in you
weeks,
right there.
the fire gonna die down. Somebody's gonna say, "Oh, I had to take care of my bills, so I took the investment money and I did this." And maybe one of us doesn't agree or whatever. We don't. It's something that's lacking. Plus, also crumbs. We get crumbs, like I said, and we treat it like a feast. But like one thing, Whoopi's gonna come back. She's gonna get like a lot of viewers. The Jews gonna make their money, and the conservatives gonna think they won. And then Whoopi's gonna keep talking out her ass as long as the money and the viewers keep rolling in. So I think, and right now, there's nowhere other place for somebody to listen to the other side of the story, conservatives. And I think we need to take, let's say, accountability for that. But let's talk about Joe Rogan. That's a real
Let's
thing
get
that
to
we
the
got to talk
saucy
about.
stuff.
Woo, I'm
Because-
ready for that.
Planet of the Apes.
Go ahead. Let's
Yeah,
listen to him.
so Joe Rogan, right? So I think
I'm gonna play it first because a lot of people haven't seen
Oh
this,
yeah,
and it's
yeah.
only been
But
30
that's
seconds.
one thing I love about us conservatives. We play the tape, so let's play the tape. Yeah.
Here's
So-
Planet of the Apes, man. We're going to go see Planet of the Apes.
Roll the
So I
film.
look on the iPhone app, and it says, okay, take me to this one. And the guy
Fire
goes, okay. I
Whoopi
goes, that in a
Golberg.
good neighborhood? He's like, oh, yeah. Guy barely speaks English. He takes us there. We get out, and we're giggling. Oh, we're going to go see Planet of the Apes. We walk into Planet of the Apes. We walked into Africa, dude. We walked in the door, and there was no white people. Planet of the Apes didn't take place in Africa. That was a racist thing for me to say. But you see what I'm saying. What I'm saying is
flies automatically stuck to your head.
Yeah, what happened is we walked into the blackest neighborhood we could find. I mean, there was literally no white people. It was amazing, and everybody was super cool. You know, it wasn't a negative.
Let's talk about
He
it.
just goes on to talk about how it was a cool
He said
experience. Blah blah.
There was no white people. It was amazing.
What was wrong with what he said?
What's wrong with it?
No, so here's what's going. I think what's going.
I don't identify as an ape, so I'm not offended.
The thing with Joe Rogan, the whole Joe Rogan situation is they realized the first thing didn't work, which was him talking about misinformation on the COVID because it was attracting more people to his show. So they go to the next thing, which is racism.
He is on it.
Gotta
Next
dig
thing,
up something.
next thing is transgenderism.
He is on it.
Phobia. So right now they're on racism. Right now, the N-word still in our society is a dog whistle to get black people mad. So it's a way to control black people by saying, "Oh, this dude said the N-word."
He is on it.
Facts.
This dude said the N-word. We got. Oh my gosh, it's so bad.
He's on it.
But see, but another thing is we have to.
It was the new call of action.
We also I need to think what we conservatives lack on, because the best way to fix things, you need to look yourselves in the mirror and call out our problem. One thing that we are bad with is social, just being social and learning how to message things to people, especially white people. White people are terrible, awkward, social people. They can do some stupid stuff, even some Asians, right? And so one way, like, you can lose somebody, of course, is like saying like, "Oh, I said this word, but I was saying it into intellectual context or whatever," and they think like, because they went so deep into being intellectual that everybody listened to them. Not everybody's intellectual. Some people, you just got to say it straight up, "Hey, this thing is stupid," and you got to give a clear-cut reason why it is, like in a way that a 8-year-old can explain it. And that's how most black people are. I mean, I'm not going to open up the dictionary and be so exquisite or specific or talk about like the old ancient times, and black folks gonna be like, "Oh yeah, I hear him." It's only a group of people that will listen to that intuitively. So Joe Rogan thought like that's what he was doing, and some people use that to disguise, say, "Okay, I can use the N-word as long as I'm using it in a nice and intellectual way to create dialogue." Niggas don't think like that. I'll be honest, niggas don't think like that. So,
hey, was it racist when Joe Biden said it?
So I'm getting there. I'm getting there. So now they're using that to control and to like make black people attack Spotify and blah blah blah. So that's one thing that goes on. So that's why like even
niggas ain't gas
Spotify,
bro.
You don't use the N-word, right? Mo,
I know a lot of them that got Spotify.
MP3 download converter. Like, what are you talking about?
Hey, bro, it's not 2002.
Listen, Mo. You said you don't use the N-word, right?
No.
So that's a good tactic. So as far as that, he could just say the N-word and blah blah blah. There's no need for him to like get that trigger. So even like me, I try not to cuss, like, and like I try like to like let's say use other words or talk about things in another way, because once you like let's say cuss or use like slurs or whatever, like it just throws people off as far as that. So I think that's a good tactic, instead of like if I go through my whole like career like trying to like let's say use curse words, it's some rooms that I won't get in. That's what puts Bryson ahead, that he makes music that you can listen to with your kids over Loza, who thinks he can get everywhere by just being a nigga and just like cussing all over the place. So that's where it might have like hurt Joe Rogan, but I don't think Joe Rogan should have apologized. I think Joe Rogan tried to play it in the middle, but that's what happens when you dance in the middle sometimes. Like especially like me, I was listening to Joe Rogan, like, and I'm not gonna stick out my neck for Joe Rogan. I don't agree with everything he says. Like I enjoy the fact that he has a competition. Like me myself, I'm not pro-choice. I'm not like pagan, and those two things he are. Which made me like, dang, like now, like I'm like, oh, I grumble a little bit. But I did like his stuff with Kanye West. But I don't think that he should have apologized like that. I think what he's apologizing is the threat of him not seeing the money anymore, which is another conservative value that I want to go next to. Not spending more than you make, or spending too much, or not having an emergency fund. So it's this $30 million contract that he has. If he loses it for next year, he probably can't afford to keep up his lifestyle. He can't afford that lake that he wanted to go bass fishing on, all that type of stuff. So
we
he's
don't
starting
know
to
that.
You know what?
So now you can control him. He doesn't have a life savings or other things, assets that he can fall back on. That's why he posted that liberal looking apology. And that's where, Oh, yeah, what's up?
I'm
No,
just
just
gonna say
saying.
this, and this is totally different from what everybody else is saying. Is I think just because I listen to Joe Rogan like religiously, and I've listened to him since his comedy days, I think that Joe Rogan is actually trolling the left without apology. Like, because when I listen to it, he hits every single talking point that they want to hear, right? He says it to the T. He almost says it kind of like sarcastically in a way. And he's like, oh, I fucked up. You know, I really shouldn't have said that. I really regret it. Like, he's saying all the things that they want him to say, right? And then today, he posted a video on his Instagram and he said, this is
Eating
how
steak.
unbothered I am from this, eating steak, talking about he's on shrooms. Okay. So he's not concerned about losing anything. People are backing him. Now,
What you
I
said,
would like him to clarify,
Yeah.
okay, if he was
What
if
James go?
what you just said, it sounds too favorable towards Joe Rogan. It's like us saying like, oh, Trump is just doing this. He's gonna come back and wash everybody.
Yeah.
It sounds a little bit like too much on that edge.
I think
And
some
because like, if he was really trolling them at the end, he would have been like, oh yeah, that's how y'all wanted me to apologize, blah blah blah. But that
Yeah.
seemed, you know, like, I mean, he had the bookcase and bookshelf behind it. I've never seen that back.
exactly.
Yeah, but
Okay,
No, that
I
was-
don't really
wait,
think that what Joe
wait.
Rogan.
No, I
If you
think-
if you
yeah, I don't-
follow
I don't
wait,
think
wait,
he
wait.
was-
If you follow like Major Williams and Kimberly Klacik, every time they get on and make a video, they got that corny ass bookshelf in the background. That's what I'm saying. He's
So
got
you're saying
all
he's
the
trying to
think-
troll the left now that he's
Hold on.
apologizing. It's a troll. It's a
No, I
troll.
I think a lot of conservatives forget the fact that Joe Rogan is on the left. Like, he's a leftist. He's not a conservative.
That's-
He's not on the
yep.
right. He's a leftist. So he can
He's a
talk the
patriot.
leftist language.
He
Those
goes
are
left.
the things that he said are things that a leftist would say, and that's because he is one of them. So we kind of gotta stop like thinking that everyone who goes against the mandates or goes against some things that we go against, that they're on our side, they're with us. No, they're not. He's not with us. He's not one of us. He will coddle, he will bow down to the left because when he sees the backlash, he doesn't want to experience that. I mean, he's somebody who's
you
used to
gotta realize
people.
the backlash is awful. And the thing is, us conservatives, since we don't have our alternative platforms in place, it doesn't give people much of incentive to keep fighting. I mean, imagine if you're in Joe Rogan's shoes, $30 million contract. You're the most listened to podcast in the world. You have all this
I think
money,
it was 100
right?
million.
And then if you lose all this, right, you go from Spotify to the Daily Wire.
Has he lost it? Did I miss something?
He goes from Spotify to the Daily Wire. No, they're putting pressure on him. You know,
But wait. Has he lost anything? Is my question.
it's
I
a
missed that
threat.
part.
It's
No,
this
he's saying if he did lose it, then he would.
That's
go to
why
the
he
Daily
sent
Wire.
out the apology.
Yeah,
I mean,
so-
I know you're trying to spin this apology like it was a joke, a prank, or whatever. But I ain't seen no. I got
So
you.
I like
You know what I'm saying?
to
I
kind
see
of
$30 million on the
push
line.
back on the comment about
100
Joe
million.
Rogan.
Oh,
Joe Rogan's
even
not
better.
a-
Go ahead. Go ahead,
Joe
James. Go ahead,
Rogan's
James.
not a modern leftist. He's a classical leftist. He's literally like what my mom was.
It's like a liberal.
When
He's
she
still
when
a-
she-
Old
back
school
in her,
liberal.
he's a classical leftist. He's not a modern leftist. He's not they them.
No, I didn't say
whatever.
he was. I didn't say he
He's,
was one of
he's a
them.
class, but the way you said it, you made it seem like he was on their side. He has a larger
He is on their
following.
side.
He is on their
What?
side.
What are you talking
No,
about?
no,
He's
no,
not a
no. Like-
conservative. He's not. He's
Yeah,
not voting
he's not
for
a
He's not on the
conservative.
right.
He's not America
He's not a
first.
conservative, but he's not going out there lobbying for Biden or
No, I didn't say
going
that.
out there.
I didn't say
What do you
that.
mean? He
I-
campaigned for
I-
Bernie. He
I
campaigned
don't
for
think he-
Bernie.
I don't think he's a conservative, but I think he's
Did you guys
closer to a
forget that?
Republican than most Republicans are because he is a free thinker. He is exactly what we talk about when we talk
Yeah.
about a free thinker.
I think he's
You
a
know?
free thinker that's loyal to the left because he doesn't realize, like, that his ideas about certain things like abortion and certain things that we have ideas about, like, he doesn't know that those things are actually wrong. So he kind of leans to the left because he wants to stick with those types of ideologies. Like, he wants to believe that a woman's body is abortion is her choice, like certain things like that.
Okay, I have a question.
Mhm.
If Joe Biden said what Joe Rogan said, would you guys call him a racist?
He
I
already,
just need a yes or no.
he already has.
He
Would
has
you call him a
multiple.
racist?
Multiple times.
I didn't
No,
ask you that,
no,
though.
I don't think it
Would
was
you call
racist
him
at
a
all.
racist?
I
No,
don't think
I
he said it was
didn't. I
racist.
didn't.
No.
When that
You don't
video
think Joe
came out
Biden's
with
racist?
when that video came out with Joe Biden, he was quoting somebody and saying the N-word. I didn't even post it because I saw a lot of conservatives that were jumping on and saying, look, this is Joe Biden. He's racist. And I'm like, nah, he's just quoting somebody.
Well,
I don't
let me
quoting
clarify
somebody as racist.
Let me double dutch in. Let me clarify that because I posted the video, but I had different reasons of why I posted the video. And if you go and look on my platforms now, you'll see why. I was actually getting at India Ari. India Ari, if you looked at her stories that disappeared, but I got the receipts, India Ari, I got the receipts. She said, under any circumstance, it is unacceptable for anybody, meaning white folks, to use that word, the N-word, right? The hypocrisy for me was, well, okay, well, if you feel that way about Joe Rogan, why do you have selective outrage and you don't speak out and highlight and make it aware to the Black community that, you know, you're romantically in love with about Joe Rogan? I mean, Joe Biden. Yep. Joe Biden. Joe Rogan, if we look at the compilation of him using the N-word, he's describing what someone else was saying, which is the same thing that Joe Biden was doing. He was reading other people's quotes. And all we did was put a compilation together and rewinded it over and over the same way that they did. So the reason why I posted it out there was to show the hypocrisy and the selective outrage, and why it's important for the Black community in America is because they vote Democrat 97% clip every single election. So if you're going to make it aware and be upset about Joe Rogan with this compilation of him using the N-word, which I forgot how to say his name. Osa. How you say his name?
Osiga.
Osiga. Which Osiga hit it on the nail. It's just the new call of action of how we're going to try to cancel him now. We're going to make this about race. So that's why I put it out there. I thought that it was very important to call her out and show that she has selective outrage, which we see is a common theme with these people. So just so people have context, that's why I put it out there.
Yeah, Craig. No, I wasn't talking about like people putting it out now.
I don't think none of y'all.
The two.
I know I'm giving James shit, but
no. But what I was saying was when people were putting that clip of Joe Biden out there before the election, like they were using that to attack Joe Biden before the election, and they were saying, "Hey, this is evidence that Joe Biden is racist." Like I understand why people are doing it now because Joe Rogan was quoting people saying the N-word, and then Joe Biden was quoting people saying the N-word, and then they voted for the person who was quoting people saying the N-word. Now they want to cancel the person who did the same thing. I understand the comparison now. But yeah, back then, like a lot of conservatives before the election, they posted the clip of Joe Biden and they said, this is proof that he's racist because he was quoting the N-word. But there are a lot of conservatives that will say, well, this doesn't mean that Joe Rogan is racist because he quoted the N-word, but they did say that Joe Biden was racist when he quoted the N-word. So there's hypocrisy there on both sides sometimes.
But I think context matters also.
Yeah.
No. Let's not do.
I mean, Joe Biden has done.
Hold on. I'm trying to go somewhere with this. So I agree with you guys. I don't think it's racist. He was reading something. It's not a big deal. Same with Joe Rogan. But him comparing Black people to apes is not funny.
I don't think he was comparing Black.
Do I need to roll again
as the apes? What I think
he said, I got out of my car.
I think he was talking about like the movie.
The Black people.
Like I think he was talking about.
Come on, bro.
No,
wait a minute, hold on.
Let me
when Joe Biden referred to Black people as roaches, was it racist?
I don't think so.
When Joe Biden,
do you identify as a roach?
That's not the point. You guys are filibustering. You're not answering questions straight out.
I don't think he compared Black people to roaches.
I'm trying.
Come on, bro.
I don't think he compared Black people to roaches.
Let Craig talk.
I'm trying to answer.
Let Craig talk.
I didn't even know he called people roaches.
Man, it sounds bad, but I don't think that was what he was
Let me answer the question. Again, Joe Rogan is a comedian. Obviously, he was trying to be funny. I don't think he was correlating Black people as apes. What he was correlating is the exact feeling he got is what probably the movie got when white folks looked around and said, damn, the apes is running everything. They on horses. They own stuff. They locking us up.
During Black History Month.
No, what you mean?
No, that clip was from like 10 years ago or something.
Tony, are you talking about when he was referring to the neighborhood they was trying to move him to, and all it was Black people in the neighborhood, and they lied to him, said it was safe?
Yeah, he's talking
I'm talking about the clip I
feeling
just
of-
showed. Listen,
Yeah.
I'm not calling Joe Rogan racist. Okay, I don't think he's racist.
You're
What
lobbying
I'm
it
saying,
though.
no, I'm not. And if I
You
can
in this
finish,
lobby, bro.
bruh, all I'm saying, this bottom line, what I'm saying is conservatives aren't consistent. When Joe Biden does it, there's a ton of videos that come out. We all make content out of it. Look what Joe Biden said. Joe Biden said black people are roaches. We milk the fuck out of that. But you know what Joe
Biden
Rogan did?
Joe Biden got a track
It doesn't
record,
matter.
though.
They're both
Joe
saying the
Biden
same
does
things. And they're
eulogies for
correlating it to
KKK
black
people.
people. Joe
Yeah.
Rogan does it, and we're sitting
We
here
added it
doing
all together
flipping
with Joe
mental
Biden.
gymnastics instead of just calling
So,
a spade a
Sunny,
spade.
No,
Sunny,
Joe
It
there's,
can
Biden
be
there's a
said
taken
very
as
big
offensive.
reason. There's a very big reason why conservatives go after Joe Biden. I can tell you right now.
But
if
that's
you like me to.
obvious. It doesn't matter
No,
if it's
it's
Joe
not. It's not
Biden. The nigga
entirely
says some
because
horrendous shit about black people. Who
No,
gives a
it's not
fuck
entirely
if
because
it's Joe Biden?
It's Joe Biden. It's because Joe Biden goes out and he was like, his entire campaign with Black Lives Matter. He's like, we need to do this for Black Lives. We need to defund the police. We need blah, 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 blah. And then conservatives are like, wait, hold the fuck up. What is this video? And they're like, we need to get these niggers out of our communities. Like, I don't want my kids being raised in racist jungles, like, or racial jungles. Like, it's just like,
I see.
he was being like hypocritical. Joe Rogan's platform or Joe Rogan doesn't go out saying we need to erect statues of George Floyd in front of every school in America. Like, he doesn't do that.
How
So,
are
like,
you
for me,
okay
it's
with
not the
Joe
same
Rogan
thing.
comparing black people to apes, but you're not okay with Joe Biden comparing black people to roaches?
Because Joe
Make that
Biden
make
went out
sense.
and he said Black Lives Matter, and he went out.
So
and called
because
people
Joe Biden
racist
said
and all this
Black
different
Lives
stuff.
Matter,
When's the last time
it's
Joe
worse
Rogan
than
called
Joe
somebody
Rogan
racist?
saying it. That is the
When's
most
the last time Joe
asinine
Rogan called somebody
response I've
racist or
ever heard
canceled
come
somebody
from
for
your
being
mouth.
racist?
I think
Nobody's
I think
trying to
No.
cancel Joe
because
Rogan.
Joe Biden has a track record of saying stupid shit. Joe Rogan doesn't.
Yep.
That's
You
why
add
I'm
it up,
okay
when
with
you
it.
add it all together, you get racist.
Okay.
That's why I'm okay with it.
Okay.
If it's one clip, if it's one
That
thing
is
he said, it
insanity.
may not. You'd be like, yeah, I'll give him a pass. But when you add all of Joe Biden's stuff together, you get racist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say Joe Biden is more, let's say, racist than just say Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan, he falls in the category of a simple, like, let's say, a white man just saying stuff that will just take us further steps back as a little bit. Like that's what I would say it as far as now the apes comment. We get triggered. Like I said, the N-word triggers us. The N-word controls us. If somebody says the N-word, it makes us say, okay, it rings that bell in our head. Oh, I gotta go ape shit. I gotta go mad. I gotta break the law. I gotta fight. Be ready to fight. So it's like you
When a
can't
white person says
Right.
it, because when it's
Now-
said like
now-
42 times in a rap song, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. When white people say
Yeah.
it's supposed to trigger me, like we were raised, even just growing up, to like that N word is supposed to trigger us. Even to this day, we're conservatives. If we hear the N word, we little hair still rises up on the back of our backs, but then maybe we'll calm down as far as that. Now, as far as the apes comment, because let's say black people were compared to apes or whatever, it's also gonna trigger us as far as such and such. But I've seen white people act like animals too. Like, some country bumpkins in a trailer park. I've seen them and I'm like, whoa, they live in like animals out here. You know what I'm saying? But it's not gonna, let's say, trigger people because they weren't taught, like, as far as like, let's say, those like racist jokes or something that's just was trigger you. Like, let's say me being African, right? Somebody would say, oh, like I'm like somebody like in a hut, right? It's supposed to trigger me. But as far as that, see, even Avery's laughing. You see what I'm saying? So
Who's Michael Connor in the comments? Who is
as
that?
far as that, I don't think like we should let stuff like that trigger us. Like, I mean, there was years ago, there was a H&M shirt that was like coolest monkey in the jungle. That triggered up a lot of niggas. But the average income and household in the average black family being broken, it doesn't trigger us. You get what I'm saying? So I think we need to focus on different things.
I'm not triggered about
where
him
I'm
making the
Sunni-
comparisons of
I
him and
understand.
apes,
Where
man.
I'm
I
looking
don't give a
Sunni,
damn.
but
that
Sunni,
he-
As far as it's racist, like
I don't know, Sunni. For a minute, I thought Sunni was pro-black.
Whether you're
I think you guys are
black people are
purposely
roaches,
misunderstanding me.
whether
No, we're
you're
not
saying
purposely.
that black people are roaches or
I
black
thought
people
Sunni
are
was pro-black.
But
for a
you know
minute.
what?
Go ahead, Avery.
are
Nothing
racist.
wrong with it.
I don't think.
Go ahead,
said,
Avery.
He didn't say
I
black
didn't hear you.
people are.
Oh,
apes.
I was
That's
saying,
not what he said.
I feel like what you're trying to say is, if Joe Biden says black people are comparable to roaches. And if Joe Rogan is saying, I went to Africa, it's like Planet of the Apes. Like I thought it was like Planet of the Apes and stuff like that. Both of those comments in themselves are racist comments.
He said it like that?
You know what?
No.
Do I need to roll the clip again? Do I need to roll the clip again?
That's not how it
You
was
guys,
said.
let me just say this though.
I'll roll it again.
The only reason we know this Planet of the Apes story is because Joe was getting ahead of these people that were probably going to say, oh, you know what? I was with him when we were getting out of the car after seeing the movie, and he said this to get a little headline in a newspaper. Okay, we would never know about that. I guarantee you, okay, if somebody that knows one of us were to say a story that only we would know about, where one of us said something racist or offensive, there would be something there. So let's not act all outraged about this story.
I'm not outraged.
That's not what we're saying. Because that's why I say you guys are. That's why I say I feel like you guys are purposely misunderstanding what I'm saying, because it's not about racism. It's about the inconsistencies. It's about the inconsistencies. We are outraged about one thing and not about the other. Thank you. Thank you. Somebody is in the comment section. Yes, it is. It's racist. It's racist. A racist comment is a racist comment. I don't give a damn who it comes from. I don't care. If you call me a monkey, bro, we would be bumping. I'm just being straight up.
That's your interpretation.
We would be
bumping.
Call me a monkey.
These situations, a lot of these
it
situations,
ain't called nobody no monkey.
A lot of these situations where people talk about, when the left talks about racism, it's up for interpretation. So we may not interpret it as racism. We may think, oh, it may be an off-color joke or something like that, but that's not racism. The left will automatically declare that this is racism. So when in this clip that you're talking about, I'm sorry, I just don't see it as a racist comment. I think it was an off-color comment.
So why was Joe Biden's comment about black people and roaches racist?
I didn't say it was. I never said it was.
You didn't.
Said it was.
But you didn't. But the Trump campaign turned that video into they turned it into a video when he was running for re-election, and they used that against him.
Is that the one where he's talking about his hairy legs? Is that the one? The same one?
Yes, and what were they saying about Joe? They're saying Joe Biden's racist, and we hopped on that.
Of course, I didn't.
How is it
of course, in a campaign where you're trying to attack your opponent, you're going to do that type of stuff.
I'm just not a
I don't
Trump
really
worshiper.
get sucked into
Jesus
that.
is my Lord.
By the way, I would say that because like an American, that's something that an American would say when they go out of the country because of things that they're so used to seeing. Even a black American would have said it was like, if you ask a black American before it was cool to be African and be pro-black and all that back in like 2002, 2004, they would have probably said the same thing if they went to Africa. It was monkeys run everything, because like even black Americans, they are so like, I'm gonna say it's like so like, let's say narrow-minded that they can't imagine a black person, let's say, being like a chairman of like a huge corporation. They'll be like, oh, it's ran by a black man or something like that, or even just small businesses. They're not like used to. And yeah, you can maybe call me like, let's say maybe I'm walking on a thin line of racism, but I'll be honest. Every time, like, let's say somebody walks into my office, they'll be like, oh, you own this? Whoa. Or you own this, right? Or you did this. As far as that, I get that more from black people than white people. You know, as far as that, they'll be like, whoa. What do you mean you own this or whatnot, or certain things, like let's say I'm talking about taxes or whatnot. So they would have said the same thing about Africa, because like when you go to Africa, right, all you see is black people. It's of course predominantly black. You see them running the airports. You see them on the heads of running oil companies, tech companies, all these companies, right? And Americans definitely are not used to seeing that. So they would say something like that. A black person would have definitely said it was like, you know, monkeys running shit, or like, you know, black people like, you know, running stuff. Like they would have definitely said the same thing that probably Rogan would have said if you asked that. Now, when they go to Ghana, let's say some black person spend their dollars, they watch Black Panther, and they think Africa's like Wakanda, and then they buy like a ticket to go to Africa, right? Right now, they're not gonna say anything like huts and stuff that they were saying back then, because it's cool now. Because now, if you said that, you know, the Africans will come at you, and now you're starting to hate on America. So you got to find yourself a new home. So you go there, tour, and you think like, oh, now you getting back with your ancestors. You took your little DNA test. Now you 3% Nigerian, 50% Ghanaian. Now you think you all in. It's just like white people trying to, like, let's say, be black or something. It's no different. So when you tell this to black people, they just blink their eyes and be like, "Yeah, you don't know what you don't know what you talk about." But they can't fathom themselves as not being a minority. So now you put them in the light of white people, and they just like, "Whoa, what is he talking about? Whoa, is the gun turning money? What? Whoa!" And then they just say, "Okay, I'm just trying."
But that's not the point I'm making. The point I'm making is there's just inconsistencies. I'm not pro-black. I don't think anybody, even if someone is racist, I really don't care. I personally don't care that Joe Rogan made the ape comment, but I do care about people's inconsistencies, because if you caught Joe Biden saying the same shit, you know what you would be doing? You'd be clipping it and posting it on your social medias. Period. Now, point blank.
With Joe,
I would be doing it myself, but the difference is I can admit that there are times where I'm definitely inconsistent and biased on certain situations.
Just now, say you're pro-black. It's okay.
Now I ain't gonna lie. I generalize.
Nothing wrong with it. Just you gotta let people know.
And
these days, I generalize. I'm not ashamed to generalize. Like, as far as that in business, you gotta generalize. Like, if somebody comes in saying that they don't got no credit, but they got a little down payment and they're gonna pay you back tomorrow, you're gonna generalize that this is not a good idea. You're not going to be optimistic and say that, oh, I want to be inclusive, so I'm going to let this guy come off the lot with my car, or I'm going to give this guy $100,000 loan and just have faith and be optimistic that he's going to pay it back in full or whatever, when I haven't done my research, as far as that. So the generalization, and it's going a little bit another talk. Generalization can maybe be, considered, let's say, prejudice or racist, but that's what like people do all the time. You got to go off of, let's say, judgment or like whether it's good judgment, whether it's you just have a hunch that somebody might not do this or that. But as far as like let's say racism.
Hold on. You're filibustering right now, bro. Nobody's getting a chance to talk. Since people don't like the comparison with Joe Biden, right? I'll use another guy who decided to dress up as Karl Malone and speak in broken English, like black people don't know how to speak fucking English. I think it was Jimmy Kimmel, probably one of the Jimmy's late night shows. I've seen hella people say, "Yo, this is racist. This is not okay. How you gonna talk about black people like that?" Okay, we're comparing two comedians.
I didn't care.
One is on the left, one is on the right. We're not talking about you specifically. We're talking about the wide variety of inconsistencies and hypocrisies on the right.
So you're talking about conservatives.
Why can't we call it out?
Right? Is that what you're saying? So conservatives got upset. Yeah, I get it. I mean, there is hypocrisy on the right as well as the left, and I see it every day on social media. I do believe that we have to be more consistent in what we're saying. Saying that we should cancel this person on the left when we've had people on the right do the same thing. Like, it goes both ways. All I'm saying is everybody should be playing by the same rules, and the left just does not want to play by the rules. So I think that we have to do things to try to get them to play by the rules, and unfortunately that means having them get a taste of their own medicine.
I think it was a poor choice of words, like what Joe Rogan said, but to think that he's racist, no. With Joe Biden, it's consistent. It's like, one, he worked with people like, that's in the KKK, when that was one of his mentors as far as that. And I don't know about y'all, but my mentors, I think alike like them. They mentor me, you get what I'm saying? So
that's his body of work, right? I said it's his body of work that goes into why we would say he's racist based on his comments.
I would argue that he is, as far as a racist, like he's just riding the wave of what's trending right now, which is what politicians do. He's a career politician, so he's going to ride that wave. They say, oh, Democrats are seen as pro-black. Let's use your black people to ride the power, which is exactly what he did. That's why Kamala Harris was his VP solely. As far as that, it's not because he loves his brothers or whatever. Like, he did that as a political move. And back then, it was trendy to, like, say, talk like down, let's say, on black folks, or let's say see that as like a problem, and then he was just following the trends both ways, as far as that. So
what do you got, Mo?
Say it again.
What's that?
I was letting Mo speak. What do you have?
Oh yeah. I'm sorry.
I don't even know what we're talking about anymore.
Mo zoned out.
Listen, because Osiga was talking about businesses. I don't know what. I'm lost. Okay, at this point. Cancel Whoopi Golberg. That's all I gotta say.
Oh wait, Craig has gotta leave.
This time we talk about business.
Am I still lobbying? Do you understand my point, Craig? Because he's gotta leave. Do you get my point? I'm pro-black, okay? I'm pro-black and I'm lobbying against Trump. You got me.
Yeah, just say,
got me.
hey, I'm pro-black. There's nothing wrong with it, but just let the people
Sunni's
know.
not pro-black, bro. Shut the
He's.
I know. I'm James. I gotta give him a hard time.
Sunni's inconsistent.
I'm just giving.
Thanks for coming on, though. Like, look.
I get it. She's pointing out hypocrisies, man. I mean, that's what we do all day. We point out the double standards and hypocrisy. Just make sure we're consistent across the board. If we say this person's racist, but this person over here has said something racist, you should point it out. And I think I've done it before. What's his name? He in the way that he said it, it was almost as if he was separating.
He's talking about Mitch McConnell.
Mitch McConnell, Americans that were black compared to Americans. And I said, hey, I'm going to need you to explain that we're all Americans and stop referring to me as an African American. I'm not from Africa. My brother, I keep saying how to say his name. Osiga. He's a native of Africa, right? So he, rightfully so, if that's what he decides to identify himself as, I get it. So as that's another conversation. I know we're descendants of Africa and everything. So shout out to
everybody's trying to be politically correct to their own
pro-blacks
detriment.
versus conservatives, right? When is that coming?
Oh man, I would love to talk about the pro-black conservatives, man.
I'm trying to get some pro-blacks on to debate us.
Sunni will be on the pro-black side.
Well, we can name them.
Right.
Let's
Black
name them.
power.
Let's name the pro-black one right now, right? So let's name, of course. Let's just start. Let's just the hotel, right?
Osaga, he getting ready to get something.
He is. I can't let you do it, bro.
What's his
Go
name?
ahead, Avery. I mean,
Osaga.
He called him Osaga.
He calling him hotel.
Every time he talks.
No, I forgot.
Let's name these names. Let's go.
We can talk about the show after this. This is for
no Sunni. No, Sunni. He getting ready to get it spicy, man. Let's call out the hotel. Let's call out the dashiki and the incense and the shea butter and cocoa butter.
Shea butter.
Yo, so I actually have a bunch of pro-black friends. A lot of them are in Blexit, and then one of them is somebody that Let's Talk Darling does not like.
Wait, that pro-black and in Blexit?
I can really basic.
Oh, listen, hold on.
Wait, that's your friend?
What?
That's your friend?
A whole can of worms.
Oh,
that ain't my friend.
Oh no!
What? If they're pro-black,
Moby over there.
Oh no!
They are a spy, and that's why we conservatives we fail at. Is we don't vet people very well.
Send it to my email.
Let me give context to the audience. Let's make sure we give context to the audience on what we mean when we say pro-black. Right?
Yeah.
What we mean by pro-black? We're talking about the
context.
We're not talking about Nancy Pelosi on her knees with dashiki. That's
they call.
We're talking about, you know what I mean? We're talking about the Dr. Umar wannabes of the world.
Yeah,
the Dr. Umars that grift and hang on to the coattails of the conservative movement, but they really are 2 steps away of being in the Black Lives Matter movement. Those are what we are referring to as the pro-black conservative.
I agree.
The ones that deep down inside they got deep down inside they got anger, hatred, and resentment towards white folks.
Yes.
What's the dude with the dreads?
If you want pro-black people, I could get him on the show tomorrow.
What's his name?
Black Guns Matter. I know you're talking about.
Black Guns Matter.
Damn, I can't remember his name.
Who?
The Black Guns Matter.
I don't know his name, but I know you're talking about. He's got a ton of dreads.
Delusionaries. He got the delusionary. The delusionaries. He's got the whole thing. The delusionaries movement.
It's like a '60s singing group.
Delusionary.
The Delusionaries.
Yeah. He claims it's a solutionary, but it's delusionary.
Avery says Sharice.
I just need to clarify something really fast.
Yes, Sharice is one of them too. But
is that what we doing tonight? We calling people out about this Joe Rogan?
It's like
it is.
Yeah. Big argument.
He is pro-black. I'm calling you.
Bro, did you know you did not? Don't bring them people over here.
He does pro-black.
That is not my friend.
Pro-black.
I can't
clarify something.
I cannot with
guys,
you.
Well, they always come on your live.
Somebody's gonna clip
this. No, don't be quiet, Mo. Go ahead and call him out, Mo.
Mo did what? Mo, who you calling out? Mo, go ahead.
No, because I said if you're her friend, let her know she needs a new lace front.
about Mo? I didn't hear that.
mean,
That's
Mo,
not
hey,
uplifting the black community.
Mo,
she's
I didn't
stealing
hear
all
what you
those
said. You said
funds.
lace.
She's stealing
Lace
lace
front.
front. Like she's stealing all those funds. Why doesn't she use some of those funds to get her a better wig?
Not
No,
Kim.
no.
Woo, it's hot in here.
Bro, I
You
never
see,
said
our
that we're friends. I said I
attention more
have
than building
friends
our own
that are
platforms.
pro-black, and I could get like different pro-blacks on here because a lot of them are friends with Kimberly Clay.
All right, get on it.
She got into
Get
the
on it.
pro-black
Oh.
crowd
Well,
like at the end of 2020.
We'll talk about
Yeah.
that after this. We need to get back into Joe
Yeah.
Rogan because we kind of just got off topic.
yeah, Joe
I'm gonna
Rogan.
play
I
his.
gotta
I know you
pop
gotta
off.
go, Craig. All right,
I
thank
gotta
you for
get
coming
ready.
on,
Boy,
man.
y'all got another good.
Craig don't know how to
15
go. He
minutes out
wants
of
to
me.
stay.
Yeah, because the
Okay.
conversation. Hey, James, the conversation was getting spicy. I said, "Oh my God, this is getting ready to be good. It's gonna be crazy the next time we on here." Man, y'all be easy, man.
Bye.
Y'all take care, man.
Peace, bro.
Thank you.
Bye.
Craig is funny as hell. I'm gonna play this apology video because I think it's doo doo. If you're gonna say it, bro, like stand on it.
You're
You
gonna
should
do
have
the whole-
said
the
yeah.
whole
I said it,
video?
and- No.
The trolling. I want to see where the trolling happens. That you-
And there's another clip that I have to address. There's a clip from 11 years ago. I was telling a story on the podcast about how me and my friend Tommy and his girlfriend, we got really high. We were in Philadelphia and we went to go see Planet of the Apes. And we didn't know where we were going. We just got dropped off by a cab and we got dropped off in this all black neighborhood. And I was trying to make the story entertaining. And I said, we got out and it was like we were in Africa. It's like we were in Planet of the Apes. I did not, nor would I ever say that black people are apes, but it sure fucking sounded like that. And I immediately afterwards said, that's a racist thing to say. Planet of the Apes wasn't even in Africa. I was just saying there's a lot of black people there. But then I went on to talk about what a positive experience it was and how much fun it was to go to see this movie in a black neighborhood. It wasn't.
Stop. You gotta
How
play
much
those
fun
again.
it
That
was.
man does not even sound like Joe Rogan. He's in there be like,
Bro.
I am so sorry.
It was
And I'm
it was
like,
so
bro,
much
stop.
fun to be in a
You're
black
acting, bro.
neighborhood. Oh my god.
He's trolling.
That's what sounds like.
I
I
have a
think-
problem that
I
he
think he was just
apologized,
being
right?
weak.
Typical
I just think
American.
he
Bro,
was
he's
being a
trolling
weak
that you
coward.
can't see that?
That's what weak cowards sound like. So yeah.
You can't see
He
him
was.
trolling?
This is. I'm gonna be honest.
That
This
was
is not him
total
trolling.
trolling.
I think he's
No,
worried
I
that
think
about
wasn't
he
his
was.
trolling.
platform.
He
I
was
think he
a
was
coward.
trolling.
He was
He's worried about
cowardly.
his
He was
platform
bending over
because-
backwards and getting fucked. That's what he was doing.
No.
Yeah.
You
I
know what?
agree.
You know what? You know why I say he's really not worried about it? If you go on to like all his posts about this situation, even the one today, you are hard pressed to find anybody that's talking shit to him. Everybody's like, Joe, you're the man. Everybody's got his back.
But
Like,
doesn't
you
But
matter.
that's
cult
on his
following, guys.
platform. That's
No.
but that's on his platform. That's
No,
his
no.
followers.
Not everybody has
no,
$100 million
I go
like
into-
Spotify.
Listen, I go into Kim Klacik stuff all the time and troll
Yeah,
her
you
in her
do.
comments. Okay, all the time. Don't tell me
But
you
she's
just
not
got
that
Camille.
popular.
Camille, bro. Camille
But what
Bethany
he's
is-
worried
she's
about
not that
is
likable.
Spotify,
So
his contract with Spotify, because now he
It
could
ain't
be
going
up
nowhere.
for renegotiation for the contract, right?
He'll get
And
picked
when you're
up
making
somewhere
that
else.
mass amount of money, your lifestyle goes up exponentially to the point where he's maybe spending almost, or if not, to keep up his lifestyle, he still needs that contract with Spotify. Not only that, he needs to re-sign with that contract. You know, he's not going to be
Osiga.
I
like
mean,
a man.
Osiga, Spotify needs Joe. It's the other way
Yeah.
around.
But
It's
still,
the other way around.
no, listen.
Osiga, no,
Yeah, but if
it's not.
Spotify caves, if Spotify meets with the board of directors, they cave and say, "Okay, Joe, we gotta go." That's still
They're
a
done.
They're not going
Oh,
to.
no, you wanna
Osiga.
talk
Yeah,
about
no. I'm
cancel
not
culture?
saying they're. I'm not saying they're
No.
going to. I don't
Spotify
think
will
they will
go
either. I
down.
don't think they would either. It's just too much at stake. But what I'm saying is just the threat of that alone is why he posted like an apology. But there's still just a threat of, let's say, losing your source of income. You still have to defend it in some way.
Suni,
That's the
I-
reason.
I
He
think
did
he's
that.
playing. I think he's
So,
playing
Suni,
He's
I
not
both
actually
worried
have a
sides.
about.
question.
He's not worried about
Do
the
you
comments.
conservatives
He's
have
not
a,
worried about the comments
have a
of
streaming
social
service
media.
like
He's
Spotify?
worried about that 100
Like,
mil.
do we have a streaming service like Spotify yet?
I'm
No.
sorry.
Of
What?
course not. Of course not.
No.
We don't.
Of course not. We don't put our money where
Okay,
our
we
mouth
need
is.
one. I'm gonna suggest it to Bryson. Be like, Bryson, this is your next business idea.
So
I
so
think
I
conservatives
think
should get off of the
I think
Spotify.
I think Joe Rogan was playing both sides. So his apology was to the crazy people on the left, and then what you're talking about, Mo, on his social media and him acting like he's not bothered, that's playing to his fans. So his fans would see the apology and say, "Oh, he's a coward. Why did he do that? Why did he do that?" And then they see him on social media saying, "Hey, I'm not bothered." Then that makes them feel better about the apology. But the apology is still there for the left.
I think he's playing both sides to cause a lot of confusion. And well, wait a minute. I'm telling you, Joe is a smart guy. He is a smart guy. I'm telling you. And I have heard him, like when he interviewed Roseanne Barr back when she had her issue with what she said about Valerie Jarrett. He even said to her, "Why should you apologize for that?" So he knows better, because she was like, I would talk to Valerie Jarrett and tell her that's not what I meant to say. And he's like, "I don't feel like you need to." So he knows better. I'm telling y'all. It's going to come out that that's what he's doing.
Well, when it comes out, I'll change my tune.
I mean, I still listen to his show. I love his show. Did they delete? They said they deleted some episodes of his show, right?
Yeah, like 7.
Why is he deleting it?
No, they deleted it.
I don't think he's deleting it. Yeah,
Spotify.
No, he's not.
Well, he openly
don't
said
want
he
the
deleted
backlash.
a hella video.
No. Spotify. The Spotify CEO said they're confirming that they're removing episodes.
Before Spotify even got a hold of this, before this video even came out, he knew he did a video about it. I knew I was going to get a ton of backlash for people not understanding what I was saying, taking it out of context, and he went on a deleting spree.
Yeah,
why?
Don't delete.
Say
videos.
what you say.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that.
Negotiate that contract. That's what I'll say is the only thing that Joe Rogan will have to worry about, right? It's not saying the contract will be there more than likely because of the viewership, the listening, that he has. But it's a matter of will Spotify trying to like shortchange him and keep it maybe at 120 million instead of upping it to 210 million. You get what I'm saying? So that's what Joe Rogan is like. Okay, as far as like I think he's kind of shaken about that, which rightfully so. If I was him, I would understand. Now, me, I don't apologize for nothing. You would never catch me behind no ditzy bookcase, in front of no ditzy bookcase, talking about some, "Oh, guys, I'm sorry." As far as that, I put myself in a position where I can say what I want. I could, do what I want. I put myself in a position of freedom as far as that. But with him, it's a lot of money on the line. Like when he realizes, like, as far as that, even though the chances are low, the chances are still there as far as that. But I think he's good as long as he's having good episodes.
Let me read this. This was just today in a letter sent to the staff. Eck, I think is his name, who's the CEO of Spotify, said that he believed Rogan's comments were incredibly hurtful and confirmed that Rogan decided to remove multiple past episodes from Spotify, but said he did not believe in removing him from the platform.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But see, hey, this will not be the first time leader says one thing and does another. So that's about action. But no, you missed what I said. So when they renegotiate the contract, instead of him getting a $210 million deal, they might shortchange him and say, okay, because of this controversy or whatever, we'll just up you from 100 mil to 110, 120 mil, that kind of thing. So instead of him getting that big raise at the end of his contract to do a new contract, they just shortchange him, save a little money, that kind of thing, which is still a big deal because when you're leaving $70-80 million off the table, as far as that.
He actually also stated in this
Oliver,
comment
gotta go.
that he's sticking to the contract.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the next contract. The contract.
Go ahead.
Hey. I was just gonna say I gotta get out of here. I appreciate y'all. Like, it was a great conversation.
Wait, why is everybody laughing?
It was a great conversation. You'll figure it out. It was a great conversation.
Damn.
Thank you guys. I appreciate y'all. Hey, if anybody watching, please follow the Right Winged Angel on Instagram and also subscribe to the channel on YouTube, Right Winged Angel. Peace, guys.
Bye.
All right. That's
Go
so
ahead.
funny, bro. He was mid sentence, dog.
Wait,
Hey,
what
look.
happened?
The only
what
reason I
happened?
wanted to do this show is because I know we all disagree, right? I don't really give a damn about Whoopi. I don't care about Joe Rogan, but I do care about consistency because, look, I'm a long-term, long game person. This might be fun in the moment, and we're celebrating her cancellation. But when it comes back to eat us, the first thing we're going to go do is run to cry on social media about these platforms and it's not fair and da 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 da. Well, another person just went through what we've been going through. So I'm just not going to celebrate it because I don't want to give it any credence. The fact that we're hopping on board sets a precedent. It's no different than Trump hopping on board with what the left was pushing, which was the vax. We were all like, bro, no, fight against this. Don't fight with them, fight against it. That was my entire purpose. I brought up the ape thing because Joe Biden has said us a ton of different things. Hell, we only got to talk about Joe Biden. We could talk about all the people on the left that have made just asinine comments about Black people and animals. We call them out for it. We don't give them a pass because of who they are. Doesn't matter.
Wait, Mo, question for
What's
you.
up? What's up?
Did you work with Camille Bethany and Corinne for the Kimberly Klacik thing?
No, I did not.
You did not? Okay.
No.
There was somebody else who
But
worked with Camille Bethany and them. And
I was
like,
there for it. I think it was no. I think it was Linda Kennedy.
Oh,
Maybe?
yeah, Linda Kennedy. I thought it was you for some reason.
No,
But yeah,
I was...
I'm not. I'm just saying that it's very popular. I'm messaging them right now, Symphony Brown and a couple other pro-blacks that are in Blexit, and they would be very interested in coming on. And I asked them to get Kimberly. So
she'll never come.
We'll see. She probably will. If the title of the show is not Financial Expose, she probably will. But all right, guys.
What do you got, Avery, man? What do you think about the entire conversation?
Siga didn't say bye.
Oh yeah, y'all take care.
Oh, okay.
All right, y'all just do some comments. Take care.
Go ahead.
Personally, I kind of feel similar to how you feel. I think I poked jokes at the fact that she was suspended for 2 weeks, but I didn't advocate for her cancellation or anything like that. I think if the network was to fire her or them suspending her, that's their job, that's their network, they're able to do whatever. I don't think they should. I think once we add on to cancel her, get rid of her, strip her of everything, all her money, all her fans, you're literally exacerbating the power of cancellation that the left already has. When it comes to cancellation, as conservatives, we don't have any real power because we don't own the bakery. We just buy from the bakery, constantly buy. We don't own anything. So when we're talking about canceling Whoopi or getting her deplatformed or something like that, you're not actually talking about conservatives doing it. You're talking about the left holding one of their own accountable and then taking them down. And at the end of the day, the elites, the establishment, are going to do what they're going to do regardless of if they're taking down some of their own.
Because it's just going to come down harder on conservatives. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's like we're as Asiga said, one of the things that I didn't zone out on. I love you, Asiga, but oxygen, man. Yeah, he said that when conservatives get breadcrumbs, we act like it's a feast. I don't think that there's going to be any substantial victory of getting Whoopi canceled. It's not going to do anything for us. We're going to continue to get canceled. CNE's going to continue to get reported. I'm going to continue to get shadow banned. Nothing's going to change.
Until I don't see enough of this advocacy for maybe buying parts of MSNBC or ABC or something like that, and actually you can create an alternative. But personally, I'd rather see you take over that company that's constantly causing us harm or breaking it up. When you have something like TikTok destroying Facebook and we don't own something like TikTok, which is doing it, it's like we could have done that, but we don't organize enough to do something like that. When we create Getter and stuff like that, it becomes, or Parler, it becomes an echo chamber of just our people. And then you'll have some conservative people who don't want to go on there because they're only talking to who they know are going to agree with them. So I think, yeah, that's just how I feel about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are your closing statements,
So
Mo?
your followers are asking you to get back on Instagram, to go live.
I'm blocked on Instagram, but what's your take on it, Mo?
You're blocked on Instagram?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going live.
Yes, I can't go live.
Be in trouble.
Bro.
Listen,
You know
You can
why?
use my page if you want.
Go ahead, Mo. Sorry.
I just think, you know what, you guys, it's gotten to the point where conservatives, Republicans, we're going down faster than Kamala Harris went down on Willie Brown. And if we don't start getting greasy and getting street with it like they do, we're gonna lose. You know what I mean? Like, we gotta stop trying to play this fight clean and fair and all this other stuff. I'm sorry, but I'm all for canceling what is stupidity. I'm not for cancel culture of stuff that is just like, oh, let's just cancel them because we don't like the way they part their hair. But it does work sometimes. And I mentioned Colin Kaepernick. He just went to a game the other day and he got booed at that game. It works. He doesn't have a career in football. It does work. And if we use it on the right people and the people that deserve it, they're going to feel the pain, because the quickest way to change is when you are in pain. And her being on a 2-week suspension is not going to feel pain. Now, as far as Joe Rogan goes, I really hope he's not apologizing, because there's not one thing that makes me more annoyed than somebody, like I said earlier, that says something, whether I agree with it or not, and doesn't stand by what they say. I respect you a lot more if you say, yep, I made the comment of the apes, the comment about the apes thing. I said it. It was stupid, but I said it. I would respect you a lot more. Don't backtrack on your shit, or we'll cancel you just for being weak. I'll cancel you for being weak. And you know what? I will cancel Trump if he does some stupid shit too. I ain't afraid of that either. So that's it. Follow me at on YouTube. Let's Talk Darling.
Follow me at Real Life Returner on everything.
I'll be going live. I'll be going live on Instagram.
Follow
Avery,
me.
hop on.
Hey, do me a favor, guys. Go and see if you can see my Instagram, because I think I got taken down again.
Let me
Stop.
see.
Right
I think
now?
I got taken down again.
I'm
Yeah.
looking right now. We'll do it live. Hold on. I'm on my computer.
What'd you
No,
do?
you're still there.
I'm still there.
Mhm.
It won't let me log in on my phone.
Really? Yeah, I can see you
Yeah.
have 1,380 followers. Yeah, you're here.
Yeah, you're here. It could be that you.
And I only quoted the follow account because you have several different profiles.
Hey, I have a I have a troll page, but you guys are gonna laugh at what my username is.
What is it?
Don't say it on
My
here.
friend is-
If it's gonna go report it.
See it? That's where I'll be going live.
Am I friends with you?
Wow.
Can you follow me so I can follow you back?
Yeah, I'll go live on this page and everybody can come join it. Here, I'll follow you now.
Yeah, you gotta follow us so I can see you go live.
I
All right,
think it's awesome that people see us
Wait, what is it? WAP?
disagree.
This is some bullshit.
I mean, at the end of it, and it normally happens like this, I ended up agreeing with Sunni, but like, I just think that Whoopi should be held accountable. Like,
I'm
we
telling
held
you, I
Trump
think
accountable.
people disagree with me just to disagree with me because they know it's
WAP,
gonna make a
worship
good
and
show.
praise.
No, I
I
really,
just don't think we
I
should- I
really
don't think we should
disagree with you this
cancel.
time.
Yeah,
You
'cause,
really
like,
disagree
Sunni
with
and I
me?
was going live.
I
and
do.
No, I think I agree with Sunni now. I just think that we should hold her accountable, and like, it's okay for us to have backlash, and it's okay for us to criticize her. But I don't think it's good to cancel
I don't
somebody
think
or
people
take
shouldn't
something away from them
criticize.
because of what they
I
said.
think they should criticize her, but I also think
Okay.
that we should understand what comes with that. You know, we can celebrate on this side, but I don't want to hear you whining when you get censored.
Yeah.
Because we just celebrated somebody else. She was essentially she was censored for saying something that they didn't like. Period.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's right, because I say a lot of things that people don't like, but I do respect the people that respect me enough to say, you know what, I don't agree. I'm not going to try to blackball you or get you kicked out and do all this extra stuff. Like, no, I'm going to fight for her right to speak freely. Period.
And if at the end of the day the company decides to fire her or something like that, that's their decision. It's just I'm not gonna back that.
The comment that she made about the Holocaust being about man's inhumanity to man, I mean, I don't disagree with that. Yeah, that was part of it, right? But for sure, it was about racism. And I would almost give her 100% pass if in previous discussions or episodes that she's had on that show or interviews, she hasn't made other things about race that were not about race. So that's where I get upset with her, because, you know, they like, and it's not just her, but you know, these people that like to play the race card on everything, it's like, it makes no sense. What, you know what I mean? And I've said it in the comments, we have now muddied the word racism so much that we don't even know what it is when we really see it.
That
you know what I mean?
With That happened. I remember back
Just go on Cozy
when
TV.
When Trump was president. When Trump was president, that happened with Nancy Pelosi and AOC. AOC called Nancy a racist, and Trump came to her defense or whatever. And Nancy was just like in awe and shock and stuff like that. And I think that's
exactly
we need to
I
take.
think we win that way. That's the only way we win. Honestly, we don't win by doing the same things they're doing, because that doesn't differentiate us from the people that do observe, because there are people on the left that watch me, watch Mo, they watch all of us, and if they see us doing the exact same thing the left is doing, it's like, well, what's different with you guys? You guys are just going back and forth, and it's like petty shit, right?
Yeah.
Look, if Whoopi were to ever watch this, she can be like, damn, there was a person that's like extremely right-leaning, probably doesn't like me to save her life, but she was willing to defend my freedom of speech to say whatever I want. I think I would gain way more respect on the opposite side than I would by being like, fire Whoopi. Like, it's funny in the moment, but god damn, bro, you still got people doing lives like she needs to get fired. What she said was just it was horrendous.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you serious?
Complicit in the culture that they portray, you know. And one thing I was confused about Oliver, he said, you know, we need to play by their. You guys say that we need to play by their rules and conform and do exactly what they're doing, fire with fire type thing. But I'm like, if we conform to their rules and stuff and start doing what they're doing, we're literally giving them power over culture. If they say cancel, if they say cancel culture is now the new thing, that's what's going to be controlled. That's their opposition. Right. It's not ours.
Right. I agree 100%. That was the point of this conversation. We're going to be having another one. That's the live. You want to tune in and watch me? That's what you got to follow. I'm doing a pro-black versus conservative conversation.
Worship
if you know any pro-blacks, please send them my way.
Symphony Brown is down.
Symphony Brown. Okay. I'm only having 6 people on this panel because 10 was just too fucking much. And I want Mo to moderate, but I don't want to overload her. So I'm going to
I brought a pro-black. So if I find more pro-blacks than anybody on the panel, can I be on the panel?
Is this my punishment for not agreeing with you? You're gonna make me
finding pro-blacks. Like, I will go and find black people.
It's live with me.
To trade to you to be on the panel. I'll trade black people to be on the channel with you.
Who said you weren't on the panel? What's
trade
going
black
on here?
people? What is this? Slavery?
I'm gonna go find pro-blacks. I'm gonna trade them for a spot.
Listen, you're always on the panel, unless I don't need you or I say, hey, this is not the conversation. You could be mod. That's what you can do.
You can be a moderator, James.
You're a great moderator. Yes.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yes, and you can throw in your little ringers. I don't care, but moderate. You're a great moderator. You're like, all right, guys, shut it down. Let's get back on topic.
Yeah.
Follow me on your new platform so I know how to find you.
I did follow
bring
you.
that light skin diversity.
You did? Okay, I'll go and check it.
All right, guys, I'm headed over to Instagram.
Okay.
We're probably going to talk about this again. And you guys are going to see the like emotional conservatives that I'm talking about that are like, it's about Jews. And I'm like, bro, fuck them Jews, man. Just like I say, F the slaves. Like, shit. It was how long ago? I can't do nothing about it now. And if she felt that way, that's how she felt.
Somebody clip it. Somebody clip it. Sudi said, fuck the Jews. Sudi said, fuck the Jews.
Canceled.
Clip it. Go viral.
I'm canceled. I would embrace that. Did you say this? I sure did. What do you mean by it? Well, it's 2022. I can't do nothing about the Holocaust. I don't listen to black people whine and grind about slavery. I'm not about to listen to Jews whine about something they ain't been through. That's fair, right?
Need to go and plant a tree and move on.
I love Jewish people, just for the record. Don't cancel me.
I love Jewish people as well. Very much so.
Yo.
I love the Jews.
As long as you don't say LGBT, we're good. We're still friends. But the second you say that, I'm be like,
the gays.
I support the log cabin.
What?
No.
What? Did you guys hear what she just said? You love the what?
Wait, did you just put me backstage?
What's she saying?
I said I love the gays. I do. Okay, there's just some gays I don't like, but I have friends.
You love
did I ever say I hated gay people?
Hurts.
Did I ever say I hated gay people?
Not
Never
the log
ever.
cabin.
I didn't say the log cabin. I said I love The gay.
Mo just wants that gay best friend that can come
I
over.
have. I already
And that's
have
the
it.
reason. That's the reason every gay man's thing is turning into a black woman. Okay, that's what it is. The stereotypical black woman. That's why, cause y'all baby them.
I love Christian Walker. Cancel me.
No,
I love
hell
Christian
no.
Walker.
Oh, hell no.
I think black gay men are
Okay.
unnatural.
First of all, James can be friends with Kim Klasick, and I can't.
Hell
let him
no.
do it.
He's suspect to
Nobody
this
ever
shit.
said that.
Hey,
Hey,
I seen Kimberly's post with the money in the club. It is perfectly fine. Okay, she said she
Hey, look,
redistributed the wealth.
Are you a pro-black? He said, no, it's not. It's like saying the United States never had slavery. I just
Oh,
said,
wow.
how long ago did it happen? Did you guys hear me say it never happened? I don't think I said that. But anyway, we're going to take this conversation to live so I can bring some more. I don't have anybody blocked on this profile. So you guys are going to see Mitch pop up, Johnny, and I think it's going to be funny when we talk
damn.
about this.
Bruh.
But they're probably going to be on my
Okay.
side of this. Most like, oh God.
You're gonna invite Mitch?
No, but I don't have anybody blocked on this profile,
Right,
because I
so
go
people
watch
will
everybody's
share it.
stuff.
Mitch
Yeah,
told
I'd
me
be
he's
definitely
like
gonna
he's
join
like
somebody,
James,
though.
why don't you go live to me? And I said Suni said no, and he's like Suni owns you, and I'm like Suni said no. That was my only response.
He said Suni owns you.
I'm a pro-black. I just ain't getting paid for it. Oh, Eric, we're not friends
Dude.
anymore. I'm not friends with pro-blacks, man. They're weird. Slavery was before the Holocaust. All right, bro. You can come on over to Instagram. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I'm going to make this a quarterly thing where we get on here and talk unfiltered, not over each other. That's something I have to fix. I'm just going to mute all of you unless somebody's talking, because we were doing too much speaking
about
over. But that's
Osiga?
what these things are for.
Dude,
He's just
Osiga-
getting muted, bro.
Like,
Did you hear
Osiga
me play
be-
my bullhorn?
Osiga be talking, dude.
Woo! He's just getting
I
muted
lost.
outright.
I actually zoned out. I tried to pay attention. I zoned out.
For real.
Start talking about businesses. I'm like, bro, this is about Joe Rogan and Whoopi Golberg.
I love him though. Osiga, we love you. Just gotta
We love
breathe,
you,
Absolutely.
bro. Oxygen. O2.
See you guys.
All right.
Bye.